going to be a free kick. And it's going to Sydney to be taken by Adam Goods. Just looking at Rue's record, he's won 17 out of 26 coming in today, so 18 out of 27. His first game and his first win against Fremantle in round 13 last season.
Won 11 out of their last 13 games now, the Swans.
Goods again within 10 metres of the boundary. McFarlane has got better the longer it's gone. Wait for the siren. Great victory for Sydney. Confronted, headed, met the challenge like a very good team.
They are a good team, Dennis, aren't they? 11 out of the last 13 games they've won, and something to take away for Fremantle as well. Big road trip for them. Got to a 14-point lead early in the last quarter. Couldn't hang in there, but they'll take away something from this, learn about the opposition. The team that's sitting second on the ladder. They can run them to the line here. Let's go down to one of the warriors of league footy. That's Anthony Miffin, and a real warrior, Darren Creswell.
Yeah, no, count me out of that. You got your nose splattered all over the place in that first half. Couple of stitches I spy in there, but come away with the 4 points. You keep doing it.
Yeah, Dermy would be pretty happy with this place right now at the moment. But, it was a great win. We gusted out. Mate, they really took it to us, and to come out on top at the end of the day was a fantastic result for the boys.
You're a bit nasally, so we won't keep you long, but three-quarter time, well, he's a straight-talking boob, that Paul Roos, isn't he? And he gave it to you, and you responded in kind.
Yeah, he just stated the facts. We put off the pedal, and they kicked 6 goals to 2 or something. So, you know, the last quarter, to dig deep with the way we played, come out on top was fantastic.
What do you think about next year?
I was sort of thinking about it, but I haven't sort of changed my mind yet.
You nearly said I haven't made a decision, but you announced that early in the year that you wouldn't play on. But a side like this, it'd be hard to walk away from.
I didn't really expect the way we were going to go this year, so it sort of makes you have second thoughts. But my wife might want me to play on after a couple of knocks I've copped in the recent weeks, so we'll see what happens.
You keep defying the critics, though, those pre-season critics that said you would be a bottom 8 side. There you are, sitting second on the ladder and looking really good for a real shot at it.
Yeah, I think Mike Shea picked us to run last, so you know, it's been a fair. You know, everyone contributes every week. We haven't got any real superstars, so I say that makes an even contribution right across the board for the boys.
It's obviously bled all game, has it? Still bleeding now, so we'll let you go and get some attendance and have a drink.
Thanks, mate.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, that's where we leave the SCG. The Swannies getting up over the Dockers. Stay with us. Coming up, Adelaide take on St Kilda right here at Amy. Last Sunday, the Adelaide Crows missed a golden chance to steal second place on the AFL ladder, losing a heartbreaker by a point to the Fremantle Dockers. While the Dockers celebrated, the Crows lamented. A match they say they shouldn't have let slip. Now they host St Kilda. The Saints coming off a morale-boosting win over the Kangaroos. The big question, can they do it again? Another week, another finals contender, another chance to keep their finals dream alive. What an afternoon to look forward to as the Saints make their way out onto Amy Stadium. It's not a ground of which they have a great recent memory. They've beaten the Crows here just once, and that was way back in 1991. Only Nathan Burke and Robert Harvey were playing that day for St Kilda. How will they go today in the big one? Great to have you with us wherever you might be joining us around Australia. Clinton Grivis alongside of an all-time legend of the game, 376 AFL matches, Craig Bradley. Craig, terrific to have you with us today, and what a match to look forward to.
Should be great. Not many people are giving the Saints a chance, but I certainly do. They've come over here, they can make the finals, but they've got to win.
And speaking of games and veterans, Robert Harvey I mentioned, and Nathan Burke, game number 322, the all-time games record holder now at St Kilda. They are good in the close games. They'd love a scrap this afternoon. They're 5-0 in matches decided by 15 points or less, but the Adelaide Crows are now 0-5 in the close matches, 15 points or less, after they were beaten by the Fremantle Dockers last week. And for Adelaide, this is a huge match as well. They still want to finish in the top 4.
Absolutely. To finish in the top 4, they must win today, and certainly they'll be fired up because it's a cutthroat affair, just like the Saints. Both have plenty to play for.
St Kilda say this is their most pivotal game for the season. Let's have a look at how they're going to line up. 7 wins, 9 losses. As I mentioned, they are good in the close ones. First of all, though, the Adelaide side. Ben Rutten coming in, Wayne Carey out.
Well, that's the big one, Wayne Carey out. But Adelaide have got plenty of options up forward with Scott Welsh coming back. Of course, Rashudio with Simon Goodwin coming into the side. Look for Rashudio to push forward.
St Kilda beating the Kangaroos by 5 points last week. Lee Montagna on screen was one of the stars. He kicked 3 goals. Here's how the Saints look. Remembering, though, Fraser Gehrig, who kicked 9 goals last week, suspended for 1 match by the AFL Tribunal.
And that really hurts them. Stephen Lawrence last week and Fraser Gehrig both played terrific games. Of course, they've got to compensate for that this week, but they're a young side. They're pretty exciting. Nick Riewoldt, he'll go forward, and hopefully, along with Goddard coming on as a youngster, a pretty exciting young side.
And a big test for Kazitsky and the likes. Stephen Baker, will he pick up that man, Andrew McLeod, who's been in simply awesome form? A vital match for these two clubs when you consider their respective ladder positions. Adelaide, as it stands entering this match, 5th on the ladder. Now, with Sydney playing Fremantle also this afternoon, a Crows victory and a Swans loss, and Adelaide would be 3rd on the table with 5 rounds remaining. For St Kilda, if they want to keep in touch with the Kangaroos, have to win.
Oh, absolutely. And for Adelaide, they've got a tough run coming up. If they can get through the next 5 weeks of footy, they'll be match hardened and they'll be ready to go for the grand final.
Well, let's have a look at that run coming up. Adelaide, this is the last time they're going to play a team in the home and away season that don't reside in the top 8. Sydney, Eagles, Collingwood, Kangaroos, Port Adelaide. That's a tough run to September.
It is a tough run on paper. That looks hard, but, if the Crows can get through it, as I said, if they want to win the grand final, they can get through this next month. They're in good shape.
And what about some of the players to watch? It's great to see Stephen Milne back in the lineup. Was dropped to the VFL last week. And, hey, talk about responding. Kicked 8 goals for Springvale in the VFL last week, including 7 after half-time.
Well, he can do that. He can kick them in a hurry, and he is a live wire for this side. So he might be starting on the bench, but look for him to come on and really give the Saints a spurt.
He was impressive when these two teams met back in round 2. An upset victory to St Kilda by 8 points. Milne kicking 5 goals on that occasion. Nick Riewoldt was one of the Saints' best back in round 2 of the season. 21 possessions, 9 marks. He is one of the stars in the AFL. He's number 2 in the AFL in marks overall.
Well, he is a superstar at such a young age, but big responsibility today. Fraser Gehrig out. Look for him to go forward with Aaron Hamill and provide the Saints with 2 good targets.
Has kicked 23 goals for the season. The Crows, as always, being led by their skipper, Mark Rashudo. 35 possessions, 7 clearances and 9 entries inside the attacking 50 against the Fremantle Dockers last week.
Oh, look, he is the barometer for this side. He is tough. He gets plenty of the ball, but he does all the hard stuff as well. And as I said today, I think he'll sneak forward early and try and kick some goals.
And you talk about all the guns that Adelaide have in their forward line. They've had a lot of injuries. Rashudo and this man, Andrew McLeod, actually their leading goal kickers on the season, each with 21. Andrew McLeod, he loves playing against the Saints.
Oh, look, I can't say enough about Andrew McLeod. He's, I don't even think he's a Rolls Royce. He's better than that. Silky smooth, and it's just exciting to watch him, isn't it?
Better than a Rolls Royce. He's a Jaguar or something else then, and he certainly is that. It's a beautiful day in Adelaide. Look at that blue sky, crowd building up. It's going to be a wonderful afternoon. Can the Saints keep their finals hopes alive, or will that man, Andrew McLeod, and the Adelaide Crows prevail? When they met back in round 2, well, it was the Saints doing the celebrating.
AFL Premiership 2003, proudly brought to you by Carlton, brewed since 1864. And our telecast sponsors, the all-new Holden 1-tonner. It's back. Chartered Accountants, CA, Employ Our Thinking. Primus Telecom, delivering the real value of communication. Sky City Adelaide, the place to see footy on the big screen. Crazy John's for the best deals at mobile phones. Radio Rentals, South Australia's biggest electrical retailer. And Amy, lucky you're with Amy.
The pictures that caught out a billion-dollar business. What happens next is a national disgrace. And how the comic book heroes have taken over Hollywood.
They make money.
60 Minutes, tonight.
Ditch the chauffeur.
Before you buy spectacles from anyone, come into the Optical Superstore and check our prices. Our spectacle frame prices on our huge range are about half the price you'd expect to pay elsewhere. You're welcome to compare prices with the Optical Superstore. Also, in most cases, Medibank Private Extras members receive spectacles with no out-of-pocket expenses. Come in and compare prices at the Optical Superstore. Located in Westfield Tea Tree Plaza, Maya Marion, Maya Centre City, and now at Jetty Road, Glenelg.
It's auction time at Axton Blocks and Pavers. Need pavers or retaining wall blocks? Contact Axton and tell them what you want to pay. Offers are only for the supply and delivery of pavers or retaining wall blocks. However, we're happy to quote on installation. As long as your offer is not less than cost price, Axton guarantees to accept it. That's right, they guarantee to accept it. Why wait? Place your offer by calling Axton today on 8250 4422. Hurry, because this offer is going on.
Why was she murdered?
Tonight, the suspense thriller.
There's enough evidence here to ruin the lives of everyone involved.
John Travolta, Madeline Stowe and James Woods.
She cheated, she lied. When you find that out, then you'll know everything.
The General's Daughter, tonight on 9.
No doubt about that, and today Nathan Burke surpasses great mate Stuart Lowe as the club's games record holder, number 322 coming up, and what a career. 3-time best and fairest, 4-time All-Australian. He was captain for 5 years now. Aaron Hamill has that duty as he makes his way to the centre. Max Bashir is there to toss the coin. Mark Rasciuto alongside for the Adelaide Crows, and the coin toss, well, there's some discussion and debate. Has it landed on its side? It's okay. Aaron Hamill winning the toss. Saints to head to the left of screen. The Northern stand in here at Amy Stadium in the opening term, as I welcome Kim Dillon to the microphone for the first time this afternoon. Kim, great to have you with us. Welcome.
And likewise, Clinton, and interesting to see Max Bashir retrieve his coin very quickly. He's been very frugal with the money here in the SANFL. He's done a great job, but he was after that like a ferret down a rabbit burrow.
Good to see him being recognised by the crowd here too, with the applause as he makes his way off, and the crowd filling up nicely. The signs at the front of the stadium on our way in saying sold out. Best place to be though today on a day like this has to be Boundary Side. Good afternoon, Tiffany Cherry.
Good afternoon, guys. Well, as you can see, it is extremely windy down here. The wind going to the right of screen, obviously favouring the Crows. They'll be looking to improve their conversion inside 50 and their delivery inside 50, and of course their conversion. Just an interesting point. The Saints, just before in their warm-up, were very keen to practice their centre bounces, and Stephen Milner, pick of the bunch. He could have a job after he hangs up his footy boots as an umpire.
He certainly talks enough. Thank you, Tiff. As we expected, Ken McGregor's going to line up alongside of Nick Riewoldt. Riewoldt down in the goal square for the Saints. Hamill being checked by Ben Hart, so no surprise there. We'll watch those matchups. Clark at the moment alongside of McLeod. They're not in the centre square. Saints to the left of screen, Crows to the right. It's a big game on Sunday football, and it's a good bounce for the ruckman to contest. And it was Biglands getting it down quickly, and look at that. Rasciuto with the centre clearance. Remember, the Crows #1 in clearances. Voss caught by Perry. We'll have a bounce inside the Adelaide attacking 50.
And straight away, Mark Rasciuto straight into the action. First kick out when the heat is on. Straight away, he's into it.
Good use of the body, Maguire. Down for Harvey. John Cock stripped it away. High hand pass. Voss needed a kind bounce. Kazitsky, well, happy to concede a behind early, are they? They do. Rush behind the game's opening score.
Pretty strong breeze down there, as Tiff mentioned. Must be about 3 to 4 goals favouring the southern end of Amy Stadium. That is the golf course end. And Adelaide will be looking to utilise that breeze and not burn their opportunities. There's the re-entry. Burton came in high from the side. Ball came down to the ground. Burke is in there working hard. Koschitzky picks it up. Quick little handball. Now an opportunity courtesy of Powell. Powell on the left boot. Puts it up towards the members' wing. Great use of the body there. That was by Jason Tawney. Quick feed away to Goodwin, who's back in the Adelaide Crows colours after a month off with a broken wrist. To the magic man, and that is McLeod. Bigland's on the outer side. Good use of the football, and he's found the sergeant, Ian Perry, about 55 out. Welsh on the lead. That was ignored. Now a short pass to Biglands, who has run down, and that is intelligent by the big fella. Did he hold it long enough? According to the umpire, but only just.
Good start from Adelaide. Pretty much have control of the ball at this stage. St Kilda yet to go into their forward line. And this would certainly, going with the breeze, it's probably a 2 to 3 goal win at the moment. It'd be a great start for the Crows.
Well, he's kicked 6 for the season. Very mobile, athletic man. Certainly has a height advantage over Maguire and a weight advantage of about 10 kilos. Lines up from 45 for Adelaide's first goal of the game, but he's dragged that one to the left across his body. So Adelaide 2 points after 2 minutes here at Amy Stadium. Should be a beauty. St Kilda looking to fight their way into the top 8. They're currently 2.5 games out.
Ozzie Jones, the designated kick-in man for the Saints, shooting the sun from his eyes on a brilliant Sunday afternoon in Adelaide. Jones now electing to go long towards a contest. Burton will fly from behind Koschitzky. Didn't reach it. Rashudo winning another possession. On the left from 50 to the goal square. Welsh will try and shepherd it home. Well done, Hutchton. Good use of strength there to Goddard, who started defensively on Ian Perry, the first-year player. Out to the new games record holder Nathan Burke, trying to find Peckett on the wing. Chipping in from the side, the former Saint in James Begley. First year in an Adelaide jumper. The windsock telling us the Crows kicking with the wind in this opening term, but very swirly ground level. Edwards towards Laddams, roving at Perry. Centering ball, clever. John Cock, goal Crows.
Adelaide's 2 big teams are bringing you one big offer. Yes, right now at Radio Rentals and HomeCo, you can bring it home interest-free. Save on TVs, DVDs and computers and pay no interest till 2006. Save on dining settings, lounges and recliners and pay no interest until 2006. Save on washers and fridges and pay no interest till 2006. Save on beds and bedding and pay no interest until 2006. But only at Radio Rentals and HomeCo. Now that's twice as big.
John Cock with his first for the game and his 13th for the season, starting up forward. Played a lot of his football in the back half. I reckon he'll end up in the midfield. The tap straight down to Rashudo. He's been industrious in the early stages.
Some of the early matchups, Simon Goodwin, he's started on a half-back flank at the moment, which is strange for him. And Shirley from Adelaide, he's going with Robert Harvey.
Another tap there to Red Biglands. Interesting, when they met in round 2, the hit-outs were Adelaide 36 to St Kilda 14. Of course, the Saints getting up by 8 points. Adelaide on top early in the ruck as well, as the ball comes out towards Stenglein. Quick kick around his body, the boy from Subiaco. He's been a big hit in Adelaide. Peckett, game number 203. He has been a real journeyman for the club. Goes across ground, back towards the members. Let's see what they can do this time. The ball with Maguire. The young fella is very mobile. Looks for Rewalt, but just lurking at the front of the pack was the Birdman. He feeds it off towards Edwards. The kick, well, just inside the boundary line. Biglands has been quite busy, covering a lot of ground. Now kicks long. 2 against 1. The meat in the sandwich was Perry. The ball at the back of the pack. Peckett trying to paddle it forward. Some assistance there by Burton. And we'll have a throw in on that right half forward flank.
And you can see there, St Kilda's forward line, there is no one in it at the moment, and they're just trying to push the numbers up the ground, into the wind, just to try and clog it up a bit.
Yeah, if they could hold Adelaide to 4 or 5, maybe, you'd think that they'd be happy if they can get 1 or 2 themselves. Peckett got it over to Dow Santo. Thought about the run provided on the left by Montagna. That was ignored. The kick went long and a strong mark taken there by Rewalt. Now he's about 65 out. Goes across ground, spots up a loose player in Powell, averaging 20 possessions a game. A wobbly kick forward. 2 against 2, a free kick. It'll go the way of the Saints. And a big chance for Daniel Wolfe, only 20 metres out directly in front.
Another interesting matchup there. Xavier Clark for St Kilda, the young fella. He's got the job on Andrew McLeod.
See, and they've just shown that free kick on the super screen. And the Adelaide faithful not happy. And I've got to say, it was a fairly soft one, Braddles.
Fairly soft, but for the Saints fans, much important goal, this one.
Very much so. Into the breeze, and he's banged it through. They're on the board.
Catch all the footy action on the big screen at Sky City Adelaide.
Margin 2 points. Early stages. Got a bit of push and shove. Powell and Stenglein as Maguire has to wait. Got it down for Harvey, immediately dumped by Shirley. What do you think of the matchup between Clark and McLeod? It's a big test for Xavier Clark.
And Grant Thomas is fantastic, isn't it? He is prepared to experiment with his young players. He knows that young Xavier will, either way, he'll be getting a lesson today from McLeod. It's a great test.
And 50 for not returning the ball to Maguire in the appropriate manner. So the Saints might have another shot at goal here. Bigland's the man giving away the free in the ruck contest. And the ball not returned correctly. Now Maguire will kick from just inside the 50.
Well, Craig, you know what it's like to play here at Amy Stadium. It's so important for the opposition to get off to a good start and take the crowd out of the game.
Absolutely. When you're playing away from home, interstate, you get into the game early. That's the biggest key. Come half-time, if you're thereabouts on the scoreboard, you're into the game, you feel confident.
St Kilda against the Crows and Power here have won just 2 of their last 12. And the kick from Maguire is good enough. And the Saints take an early lead.
The energy market's getting tough. Things are changing. We need an edge.
Well, let's look at the options. When it comes to business thinking, chartered accountants have the superior training and business experience to guide your business in the right direction. When would you like to start?
Let's start right now.
St Kilda with a 4-point advantage, assisted by a 50-metre penalty, courtesy of Tyson Stenglein. The ball came down to Harvey. Powell over the top of it. Quick little toe poke. Now taken by Goddard. Another handball to Peckett. He's been busy. Lost it. The crowd won't hold him the ball. Little ambitious, that request. Now out to Laddams. Having a pretty good season. Normally disposes of the ball very well. Beautifully read off hands there by John Cock. He's tried a Dacos, but it's gone across the face of goal. McLeod in there, kept it in play. A little bit of magic. Snapshot on the right boot. The breeze behind him, and he's put it through. He is the money man, and don't they love it? I suppose that's why people come to the football.
How about that? Just put it up there in the breeze, Craig. Just ripped it at home.
It went up into the air, and I thought he's miskicked that, but the breeze just blew it back. Young Xavier Clark, he was on his tail, just lost his feet at the wrong time.
And Justin Peckett not looking all that flash after that tackle applied by Burton. We'll get an update on that. Very proppy on the left boot. Let's go to Tiff now.
Yeah, they've just taken Peckett down the race. He's limping on his left. And also another thing, the umpire, one of the umpires just came and delivered a pair of medical scissors that were left on the ground.
Oh, gee, that's not good, Tiff. Thank you. Crows win the centre clearance again through Rashudo. Clark, he's seeking the boundary line there for a boundary throw-in. Some highlights early here at Amy Stadium. What a goal from Andrew McLeod. Saw some of his work at Subi last week and thought it can't get any better, but he started early today. Ruckman spoil it for one another. Lenny Hayes, what a season he's having. Now Voss chips it to the wing in front of Hamill, having to come a long way down the ground. The kick's too far out on the full.
Yeah, just trying to play the boundary line percentage there. Just didn't work out for the Saints.
Rashudo getting plenty of it early. Wobbly one inside 50. John Cock in front. The benefits of playing in front. He'll have a shot at goal from just inside the 50.
And already I don't really like that matchup. Aussie Jones on John Cock. I expected John Cock to start down back, but he's started up forward. That might have been a surprise to Grant Thomas, but just at the moment, John Cock looks a little bit too dangerous.
Kicked a dozen goals this season after being the best emerging talent, as it's called, player here last year, winning the Chairman's Award. And now to try and steady and extend the Crows' lead to 8 points. Was quiet at Subiaco against the Dockers. Can he start with a goal here? Wonderful kick. Crows have got 3.
The new Commodore. It's like corners were made for it.
Adelaide by 8 points. Matthew Clark having his first run of the afternoon. John Cock has kicked 2. Clark wins the tap straight away. Down towards Stengline. Had to bail out with a handball in the direction there of Tyson Edwards. Burke was good. Quick handball to Aussie Jones from 50. One-on-one battle in the square. Wolf opposed to Smart. Wolf gets there first and keeps it in play. Big sweeping handball back to Goddard. He goes inside 50 to Baker. In there again, Wolf wrapped up in a tackle. Smart over the top of it. Crowd very involved. And quite an intense opening 7 or 8 minutes here. And a free kick against Adelaide will go to Daniel Wolf. Too far out to score. Plays on quickly. Burton applies some pressure. Not a bad looking kick. Nearly got there. Forced over the line for a minor score. St Kilda 2-1. Adelaide 3-2.
And no doubt St Kilda realise that Adelaide are the #1 hard tackling side in the competition, and they've come to match them already in this first quarter.
Mark Rashudo with the re-entry. The skipper having a sensational year. 5-time All-Australian. It's been a celebrated career. Kicks long, taking advantage of the breeze. Hamill in there. Burton working hard. Wolf there as well. Now the ball paddled forward by Hamill again. Good use of the body by Nigel Smart. Handball over the top. Puts Stengline under pressure. Managed to get it over to John Cock, but the boundary line wins out. And we'll have an no-out throw-in with Adelaide leading by 7 points.
And another good matchup. Young Goddard, he's playing on the wing against Burton.
Now you worry about this. Blake's replaced Maguire for St Kilda. He's up against Clark here, and his best efforts might be to turn it into a maul to negate Clark's influence on this game. We'll have a bounce on the wing. Let's check in with Tiffany Cherry, boundary side.
Peckett is still in the hands of the medical staff. He has rolled his left ankle. They're just assessing whether whether he can actually come back on or not.
Not good news. Thanks, Tiff. Clark comfortably. Burton harassed by Hayes. Good pressure. Hayes with a little hand pass out. Hart, Hamill. Free kick going the Crows' way, delighting the local fans after the Saints got the last couple. Here it is again. Hart just working his way in front. And Hamill too eager as the Crows switch it to the outer side. Goodwin getting a touch for Begley. Good ball, McLeod, given too much latitude by Clark. Too far out to score. Perry in support. Still too far out. Goes short on the lead, Welsh. At the back, Voss, now Blake. And the Saints should be able to clear. Kaczynski bringing it to the members' side. That kick's going to drift very wide out on the full.
Gee, was light on for options.
Edwards to take it. Nearly halfway through this opening term. Gorgeous day in Adelaide.
Saints doing well, pushing well back into defence here, getting the numbers.
Edwards drives it long. Perry, Clark, at the back, Blake. Crows chance. Clark kept his feet. Welsh. Harvey there. Bounce the best result, you'd think, for St Kilda. Goddard caught by Shirley in the pocket. We'll have a bounce with the Crows deep in attack.
Of course, Robert Shirley, severely concussed last week against Fremantle in the opening stages of that game. He has the job on Robert Harvey. And Stephen Milne being introduced to the game, so that will be interesting. Now quick handle by Shirley to John Cock. Has he kicked three? He has. A little crowd favourite has bounced one through. Adelaide move along to 4-2, 26. Handy advantage over the Saints, 2-1-13. Well, he is causing a handful for Brett Voss at the moment. I'm pretty sure, Braddles, that it was Peckett that opened up on John Cock, but now he has Voss. Jones may have been there for a fleeting moment, but the bottom line is John Cock's kicked three.
Exactly, and up forward, he's had a terrific season playing down back and up forward. Just gives the Crows a really good option.
Type of player, I think, that ultimately will end up in the midfield.
He's provided the spark, hasn't he? Well done there to Blake. Got the hand to it first, Shirley. Besieged by Harvey. Crunch! High tackle, free kick, Crows. Burt laid flat out on his back there. Up quickly. Perhaps once he realised he had the free kick. Long penetrating kick to centre half forward. Perry will fly. From behind, Kosicki, good spoil. Here's Nathan Burke for Heath Black. Out wide, Goddard. This is better. Room to run. Steadies. Delivers towards half forward. Hamill working hard, and has he taken it? Yes, he has. Oh, what a terrific grab.
That was courage.
That was courage. Backing back, as we know, Aaron Hamill does.
Another look at it again. Sticking out the right mitt and clasping it.
And nothing but eyes for the ball, Aaron Hamill.
Now, realising he's perhaps a fraction too far with this swirly breeze. Checks for options, but the Crows with plenty of numbers back. Adelaide with 10 players inside the defensive 50 at the moment as Hamill now forced to give it everything, and it's coming back beautifully. Oh, Aaron, back yourself sooner. It's a goal.
Some people see me as debonair, a bon vivant, a sophisticated man about town, but there's another player who fits that category. Crazy John. Like me, he's been around a while and has plenty of experience where mobile phones are concerned. You get the best deal with Crazy John's. He's Australia's best mobile phone retailer. I'm with Crazy. So if you need a mobile, remember, Crazy John's for mobile phones. Call 13 22 99.
Crazy Johns, we love you, mate.
Adelaide by 7 points. Magnificent kick there by Aaron Hamill, the captain of the St Kilda side. It's Clark opposed to Blake. And Blake doing well because he's conceding some height and weight and experience. The ball ends up with Aussie Jones on the right boot. He pumps it in there again, looking for Wolf, but a good strong mark taken by Tawney. And they've had the shearers to his head. Not much hair there. Now Burton just kept it in line. Beautiful kick, just curved it around the boundary line. Found Rashudo. A little bit of run provided by Goodwin, playing with a brace on that broken right wrist. He in turn found Shirley. Now McGregor from centre half back. He's drifted down the field. Good fist away there by Voss. That was brilliant football. Throw it in the right forward pocket. And Rutten on the ground. So a height advantage there. 3 kicks last week for 3 goals. Not a bad debut. Did it all in the first half, but that was brilliant by Brett Voss. Throw in right forward pocket. Front position, Blake again. Won the tap. In there is Laddams. I mentioned before having a pretty good year, kicking 15 goals. A couple of years in the reserves at Essendon. Nathan Burke having a breather. Blake again won the tap, got it straight down to McLeod. Good pressure there by the X-man there in Xavier Clark. Throw in right forward pocket.
Well, Xavier Clark was right on the hammer of Andrew McLeod then, and why wouldn't he be? Andrew McLeod was in the perfect position.
A lot of talent on show here at Amy Stadium this afternoon. Clark in there, got it down to McLeod one way, then the other. I reckon he'll have a shot. No, he centred the ball. Great discipline and great courage there by Tyson Edwards. And he's been rewarded because he will have a shot from 30 metres out directly in front.
And that was fantastic from Andrew McLeod. He could have blazed away at the goals then, centred it. And you see Tyson Edwards once again, much like Aaron Hamill, lots of courage, backing back here, and that is just a great mark.
Well, I think there was a stage during his career, Tyson Edwards, that he was perhaps underrated. Not so now. 168 games, lining up for his 16th goal of the season. Normally pretty accurate. He's punched it straight through. Adelaide 5-2, 32. St Kilda 3-1, 19. When you talk about players Craig that can play either end of the ground and the midfield, and Tyson Edwards fits that description.
Well, he's just so consistent in his play, isn't he? For years now, he's done the job down back. He's gone into the midfield, and he's more than just a tagger now. He's a real key to their team. Last year, when he got injured late in the finals period, that was when you thought Adelaide's chances took a nosedive. So he's so vital to this side.
Credit Grant Thomas reacting to John Cock's 3 goals. Stephen Baker, the man, arguably St Kilda's best stopper, alongside of him now.
And Baker was on Burns.
So we stand by for Ronnie to kick a couple there. Back in the centre, the Crows enjoying the lead. Blake doing well there. Got a hand to it again. Burton, high ball to centre half forward. John Cock in front of Baker. Crutch, Kosicki. Good spoil from behind. Begley, Rashudo, damaging as always. 55 out, unloads to the square. Welsh getting back. Has taken a fantastic mark. He'll be quick to play on here. You would imagine he'll pass it on. It'll be a very tight angle. He plays on. Well, the umpire was in there to set the mark. And he will say, go back. That's Andrew Coates, the experienced whistleblower there. Brett Voss lurking. This is what the Crows didn't do to Jeff Farmer last week. Cut off that proverbial paddock. Welsh creeping forward. Will he play on? He's about to. Look at him. Can he there? And can he kick a goal? No, he can't. Anticlimactic, really.
Just was a little bit. He made a bit of a meal of that. I think he made it a little bit harder than it was.
Good grab against Max Hudson, one of the Saints' premier defenders.
Mark Rashudio with 6 possessions at the moment. He's just been a little bit loose. St Kilda need to tighten up on him, sorry. At 5 possessions, he's doing the damage in the midfield.
Ozzie Jones again in a ponderous mood. Crows defence from the zone pretty good. Again, forcing him to go to a contest. Boy, not a good option. Brett Voss with 3 to beat. Adelaide a certainty there. Edwards feeding it off. Stenglein well tackled by Voss. And a bounce would be probably the best result. Well, even better, they win the footy. Good stuff, St Kilda coming out there. Black pops it out to the wing. Del Santo has been impressive in his 2 games this season. Spent a lot of time in the VFL the last fortnight. Great. Rewald pushed off it. Crows to try and clear again. Rashudo getting a hand to it. Fellow veteran Hart up to the wing for John Cock, leading out, and he marks on his chest.
Rashudo 7 possessions. Quick play on by John Cock to Shirley. They've got loose players across the other side of the ground. One of those is Jason Tawney. He kicks long, wobbly, mongrel punt. Perry nearly took the slips catch. Couldn't complete the task. Now the ball paddled out, and I reckon this one will be locked up. Kosicki there at the bottom of the pack. And we'll have a ball up about 35 metres out. And Perry stretching every muscle and sinew in his body, just couldn't get there. Great pressure by Kosicki. Ball comes down to Clark, quick feed out to Blake. Big fella did it well, they're under pressure. Crowd one holding the ball, umpire says play on, and rightly so. Clark crashes his way through, Luke Ball in there, takes it over the line. Throw in right forward pocket. Well, this has been a good quarter of football by St Kilda into a strong breeze.
And Mark Rashudio, you see that no one is within cooey of him, and I cannot understand why St Kilda will not pick him up.
He has been an absolute ball magnet, so is this man, averaging 22 possessions a game, and he's just slotted his 2nd goal of the game just casually on the left from 40 metres out. Adelaide have their 6, 6-3, 39, St Kilda 3-1, 19. Rashudo goes for a breather, and the former skipper in Mark Bickley on for his first run of the afternoon.
And that's a competent sign from Gary Ayres. Mark Rashudo on fire. But Mark Bickley, seasoned campaigner, is prepared to rotate them, keep them fresh for the whole game.
Well, the men you know who are going to do the damage are doing the damage. Now the question, how do you stop Rashudo and McLeod? The good news for the Saints, as you see, Rashudo, for the moment at least, on the bench. 20 points the Crows lead. Seem to be favoured, though, by the breeze. The golf course in, back in the centre, the bounce favouring Clark. Off the ground, that's effective from Begley. Towards half forward, Laddams used the body on Heath Black. And in the end, we'll have a bounce, 55 out from the Crow goal.
And this is where the Crows just need to keep it going. Sorry, St Kilda just need to block it up a bit. They're 3 goals down. It's not a bad performance in this first quarter against the wind, but they cannot afford another one.
Clark again getting hand to it first. Bickley against Hayes. Hayes with the tackle, merging Luke Ball. Good give for Harvey. Blake, Jones. St Kilda clear the danger zone. Rewald's got room to run into here. He's got it. Quick hands for Del Santo. Got to get it long. Milne lurking. He'll crumb here for Wolf. Wolf can't take it. Tawney gets by Milne. Now Hart. Adelaide dodge a bullet there. Hart, good kick to the wing. It's a beauty. And Rutten, well, he wanted to keep the streak going, so he thought he'll hand it off to Burton. And Burton's king, holding the ball.
And your thinking was just as quick as Ben Rutten's.
Yeah, and he's come straight off the ground. Remember, 3 kicks in league footy so far, Ben Rutten. He's kicked 3 goals. Glenn Dinning from Carlton in 35 has the record. First 6 kicks were goals. St Kilda, Clark, too slow there. Kick smothered. Stenglein. It opens the door for the Crows. Hurried one to half forward. The bounce important. It doesn't favour Kaczynski. Perry, goal, and away. It's hard enough winning at this venue without the bounce of the ball going your way. And I reckon we can put our finger on Clark not getting rid of it quick enough on the wing as we have a look at Voss initially. Good tackle on Burton to win the free kick.
Yeah, great tackle from Voss there. And this ball was always going to bounce over the head. Everyone could see it. And just such a simple goal. Unfortunately, the Saints defender did the right thing. He was in front. Just got a bad leg break there.
Adelaide by 26 points. Clark to do the ruck work. Doing a good job is Blake, and he has since being thrust into that position. Bickley in, hard at it, as he always is. And quite amazingly, averaging 21 possessions a game and running off the bench for most of the season.
Yeah, great effort. Aaron Hamill now, he's pushed down into defence.
Bounce down again. Big tap one. Came out to Goddard. He's been pretty good. Great duel against Burton. Kick up forward. Looking for Weewalt. Punched away from that player. Tawney in there. Quick hands out to Milne. Snapshot on the right boot. I think he's bounced it through. He has. He is a goal-kicking genius, Stephen Milne. There's the quick reply. The Saints 4-1-25. Trailing Adelaide 7-3-45. So it's been a good effort into this breeze.
Fantastic effort, and Stephen Milne there. I wouldn't even call that a kick. It's half a kick. It was that quick onto his boot. Fantastic. He is such an opportunist. He only needs a sniff. Jason Tawney's done well so far, but he only needs a couple of kicks to kick a couple of goals. So
that's why you like seeing him on the ground, don't you? Because
exactly
he's
right.
the type of player who's going to be quiet for 80% of the afternoon, but when he's in the game, he's devastating. He kicked 5 against the Crows back in round 2 when the Saints won at the Telstra Dome by 8 points. 20-point margin. Going to be a long opening term as Stenglein's tied up. We've already reached the 28-minute mark. 19 marks to 5. The key discrepancy by way of statistics to this point, although Adelaide, as you see, winning more of the footy. Clark calming it down again. It ends with Laddams. On the outer wing, puts it in front of Perry. Bounce kind for him again. Wheeling around Kaczynski. Too much leg speed for him. Delivers to Welsh. Hutchton the spoil. Ronnie Burns tried to fend off Baker. Got him high. Baker wins the free. High fend off.
Crowd very enthusiastic today.
I'll tell you what, it's good to see them involved, isn't it, Kim? They're turning out in vast numbers. They're enjoying the pressure their team's putting on the Saints. And Stenglein chipping to the pocket. Won't reach McLeod. Hutchton getting back. Takes the relieving mark. Goes short. Lenny Hayes. Now, this is where they're breaking down. It's a good chip kick for Del Santo. About to join Goddard as the leading ball winner for the Saints with just 5 possessions.
Well, the Saints have numbers back across the ground because they've all pushed back. They have no options up forward at the moment.
Just waxing it, therefore, along the half-back line. Black, stuttering approach. Now, targets Hamill at half-forward. Hart the spoil. Del Santo's tied up. We'll have a bounce on 50 for the Saints.
Some great battles all around the ground. Hart on Hamill, McGregor on Weewalt, Shirley tagging Harvey, Hutchton on Scott Welsh, Perry and Kaczynski. That has already been a beauty.
Brett Voss now, he's gone on to John Cock.
And John Cock has kicked 3. Not a lot of time remaining in the opening turn. Clark won the tap, got it straight down the loop ball. Appealing for a free kick, Bickley. Umpire won't buy into that. We'll have a ball up about 55 out from the Saints' goal.
Young Shirley's done a pretty good job on Robert Harvey so far. Harvey with just the 4 positions, but he has run a mile. Rob Harvey later in the game.
Last chance here. Quick handball. Came from Hayes. Now ends up out there with ball wrapped up in a tackle by Bickley. Hard man to get past. Del Santo also tackled that by Goodwin. Umpire will ball up. Let's go down to Tiff.
Justin Packett has come back out onto the ground. He just went for a run, but was limping quite a bit. It looks like they're trying to readjust his boot.
There's a lot of experience there. Let's hope he's okay. Bickley in there again. Dal Santo trying to grab it. Does so. Handball to himself. Then tried to punch it forward. Lenny Hayes says, let me have a crack at it. Gets it out to Harvey. That familiar action, the twisting of the hips, the body movement. Puts it in, and it's a beautiful kick. Milne couldn't hold it, though. Burton, courtesy of a tap on from Begley, now goes back across the ground and finds Hart. He'll kick long, ignores McGregor because he has the loose player in Mark Bickley, the dual former premiership captain. Long kick down to Johncock. Good work by Boss. They've tightened up well and truly on Johncock.
And they've been shuffling the rotations down there. They've probably now got it where we thought it was going to start. Xavier Clark on Ronnie Burns, Boss on Johncock, and Baker on McLeod.
Clark front position, got a hand to it, went down to Hayes and Stengline. Trying to crash his way through was Burton. Bickley with desperation. He'll have to tap this out or he'll be holding the ball. He got a free kick for a push in the back. Not a good handball. Looking to play on quickly. They're into a bit of space though. Begley having a good game against his former club. Kicks it inside 50. Smart stripped it down. He's playing up forward. Loose ball though. Taken by Heath Black. Black, 69 games with the Dockers. Gets it out towards Hudson. And his kick is towards the boundary line, but just getting there in time is Tyson Edwards. Likes to hold on to the ball. Back towards Begley. Begley with 6 possessions. Make that 7 to Stengline. Handball was a good one to McGregor. Now kicks long. It's not a good kick at all, though. And the mark taken by Boss. Well, they burnt that opportunity.
Quarter time at Amy Stadium, and the Crows with a record-breaking first quarter against St Kilda, their best ever. 7 goals, 3-45, leading the Saints 4-1-25. The Saints with an injury problem for Peckett. We'll find out how he is after this break.
Australians escape a building in Manila captured by rogue soldiers. The hunt intensifies for the men involved in that road rage murder. And Port Power's reaction to one of the club's greatest victories.
Fantastic. Shall we call him now? Sophie, I've got the winner of the competition. There's his number. Oh, he's cute.
Oh, it's engaged.
Don't miss important calls when you're on the internet. Be online and use your phone at the same time. For frustration-free internet, join iPrimus Broadband.
Looking for quality furniture that looks and feels this good? You can search all over town, or you can find it under one roof, direct from Imperial Furniture. Quality manufacturers for over 10 years. Forget the middleman and buy direct from the factory. Look at the range. You have a great choice of styles, colours and fabrics, or it can be custom made right there. They make it, you save. At Imperial Furniture, 6 Duncan Road, Dry Creek.
For retaining walls, garden edging or steps, Outback Sleepers will add that special character to your home. Concrete has never looked so good. Available in a range of textures and styles in distinctive hues and shades. Unlike timber sleepers, concrete never rots. No white hand problems. Outback Sleepers are a better alternative to block retaining walls and can be built as high as 3 metres. Add distinction to your home with Outback Sleepers. Phone 8387 9227 or visit our website for stockists. Before you buy spectacles from anyone, come into the Optical Superstore and check our prices. Our spectacle frame prices on our huge range are about half the price you'd expect to pay elsewhere. You're welcome to compare prices with the Optical Superstore. Also, in most cases, Medibank Private Extras members receive spectacles with no out-of-pocket expenses. Come in and compare prices at the Optical Superstore. Located in Westfield Tea Tree Plaza, Maya Marion, Maya Centre City, and now at Jetty Road, Glenelg.
You want it, you pull it. You name it. With over 3,000 cars, you'll find it, you pull it, and you pay less at Lonsdale and Elizabeth. You better believe it. You want a door? You pull it and pay $49.50. You want mags? You pull it and pay $27.50 each. You take your own tools, you pull it, you carry it out, you save. You beauty. You pull it self-serve auto. You'll find them 7 days at Maya Road, Lonsdale and Wamma Road, Elizabeth. You pull it, you save, you betcha.
Adelaide's 2 big teams are bringing you one big offer. Yes, right now at Radio Rentals and HomeCo, you can bring it home interest-free. Save on TVs, DVDs and computers and pay no interest till 2006. Save on dining settings, lounges and recliners and pay no interest until 2006. Save on washers and fridges and pay no interest till 2006. Save on beds and bedding and pay no interest until 2006. But only at Radio Rentals and HomeCo. Now that's twice as big.
Wednesday. How to catch a killer when the crime scene's in a million pieces.
Find the bomb, find the bomb.
Every bomber has a signature, and they find his.
Unless he finds you. All new CSI Miami, 8:30 Wednesday on 9.
This AFL coverage proudly brought to you by the all-new Holden one-tonner, Sky City Adelaide and Radio Rentals.
Not a bad way to start your afternoon at the office. Graham Johncock, one of his 3 goals in the opening term. The Crows with their best ever first term against St Kilda lead by 20 points. Andrew McLeod with a couple. The former Saint, James Begley, seeing plenty of it. Played 36 games at St Kilda. 9 possessions in the opening term. Burton and Rashudo saw plenty of it. Heath Black and Lenny Hayes each winning 6 touches for St Kilda. Gary Ayres chatting, lecturing. Scott Welsh. Welsh without a goal. Didn't play last week at Subiaco, back strain, lifting weights after his excellent game against the Bombers when he kicked 6 goals. Here at Amy Stadium in a Friday night match. Across the board, the Crows, as you would expect, dominating possessions. As we have a look at some of the match stats, disposals 83 to 68, 21 marks to 11, 5 marks inside 50. Craig's always a key sign, and they're going inside 52 to 1.
Yeah, look, it's a good start from both sides. There is a significant breeze here, so I don't think that Grant Thomas would be that upset with the start. 7 goals is obviously a lot from Adelaide, but they're only 3 off the pace. They're in good shape.
We mentioned those change of matchups. Really, should Baker have been on McLeod from the start of the game?
Well, I guess it's easy to say up here, isn't it? We thought he'd start on McLeod, but, you know, experiment's good. You put some young kids on, they learn very quickly. I don't think it's a bad thing.
What's the key thing for Grant Thomas right now? Is it trying to ascertain which one of the 22 faces he looks up is actually on Mark Rashudo?
Well, I can't tell you at the moment. All I know is that when Mark Rashudo went off the ground, Mark Bickley came on and he picked up a truckload of possessions. So someone's got to pick them up.
Standing by to go down to Tiffany Cherry to find out just what Grant Thomas did have to say. She's with St Kilda assistant coach Matt Rendell.
Well, Matt, Mark Rashudo obviously cutting you up a little bit in the game.
Yeah, well, we've assigned Lenny Hayes to play on him, and they both had a bit of the ball, and obviously they're the pivotal battles, you know, Harvey and Hayes in there, and Rashudo. McLeod hasn't been in yet, which surprised us a bit, but that's a pivotal battle, the midfield battle, Tiff. Yeah.
What about Graham Johncock? You've got Voss on him at the moment. Will you stick with him?
I think we've got Voss on, and we've finally got a match-up on him. We think we can go with him. We didn't quite get that right on the start. We kicked the goal on 3 different blokes, so hopefully we've got the right bloke now.
What about Justin Peckett? He's done an ankle. Will he come back on?
Don't know. I'll probably see at half-time. I wouldn't expect him to be back this quarter.
Thanks, Matt.
Matt Rendell with Tiff Cherry. Tiff, before we let you go, as we have a look at Peckett go down with that ankle, and it doesn't look like he will come back. What about the breeze? Have the Saints got it this term?
It is very, very swirly and is very strong. As you can see, my hair going in my face. I think, you know, that really is favouring the right of screen. All
right, thanks, Tiff. Crows trying to get the clearance through. Rashudo there right on cue. He puts the tackle on Powell, dragged him out of it. Crows will win at Burton. Had a blistering month of footy, sends it towards the members' wing. Clark will be happy to see it over for a boundary throw-in. So we're going to have a look for Lenny Hayes on Mark Rashudo then, Craig. And Matt Rendell obviously talking about the matchups we were discussing.
Well, both sides pretty attacking in the midfield. Lenny Hayes definitely going to Mark Rashudo right as we speak.
The danger with that, though, Lenny Hayes is the architect of the Saints forward thrusts so often, and you don't want him to negate his usual game. He's a long way off Rashudo here as Rashudo gets another possession, a hand pass along the boundary line and taken over by Shirley.
They're terrific to watch at the clearances, the throw-ins, the Adelaide Crows. Matthew Clark, very good with his hands, his tap-outs, and the Crows midfielders work well with him.
True centre wing position from behind Clark, Stenglein, Goodwin, Rashudo. Here's another one, just grubbing a kick. Rewalt will take it over, another boundary throw-in.
And we saw there, Clark got the tap, and there was about 3 quick handballs. They're very much in sync with each other, this midfield. They work very well together.
on the hit-out count. It's now 21-10 Adelaide's way. Saints will take the clearance here. Harvey heading perhaps for the boundary line. Hamill and Hart. Forwards of St Kilda being given plenty of space to lead into. Hart Eccleton a challenge there. Beautiful give for Edwards, who's got it on half-back.
Back half combines very well for Adelaide. Nice kick out towards Begley. This will be possession number 10. 36 games he played with St Kilda, and he's picked up 50. And that goes against the skipper, Aaron Hamill. So Adelaide with a chance to go deep inside 50 in the opening stages.
And you see Baker there on Andrew McLeod. Baker's done a terrific job for the Saints this year, taking big-name players. And he's just standing off McLeod there, knowing exactly where McLeod wants to go.
He's a tough nut, and he's very disciplined. Begley puts it down there looking for Welsh. Got 3 St Kilda players there, including Voss, who picked up a free kick for in the back. No advantage.
And that's great courage from Voss. He has come on leaps and bounds this year.
Enjoying his best football, no question of that. The former Brisbane Lion puts the ball out to Powell. Powell on the left, averaging about 20 possessions a game, kicks it long. Hart with the fist away. It went behind him, though. Wolf, the long-striding Wolf, in there, McGregor. Wolf still an opportunity, just keeps it in play. The handball back to Smart, a little extravagant with the leg. Now the loose ball to Milne. Will they catch him? Hart did well. Quick handball went back to Powell, kicks around his body. And has he put that one through? I think he has. You can tell from the crowd.
And that's a great goal for St Kilda. Just what they needed at the start of this quarter. First goal on the board. And that will give their confidence a great shot.
Well, they worked hard, and it was good work by Daniel Wolf to keep the ball in play. It would have been easy to nearly take it over the line, and a great snapshot there by Stephen Powell to post his first game. So it only took the goal, it only took him a couple of minutes, and the margin now back to just 14 points.
The Crower meter on the scoreboard, trying to get the local fans involved as the bounce favours Clark. In the end, off balance. Stengline, tied up by Maguire, will do it all again.
And it's the little things that get you the goals. That chase then by Wolf. A couple of St Kilda players were just standing off. He chased to cause the turnover, and all of a sudden it gets you a nice easy goal.
Maguire now, and Clark. Well, that's close to throw. Not deemed as such. Burton crashes his way in. We're going to have another bounce. It was creative, to say the least.
He was forced to do that, Clinton, because of this rule that I find a little ridiculous. He didn't want to grab the football.
Have to be quick to get rid of it, don't you? And well, maybe the umpire showing some sympathy for it, perhaps. Surely. Towards the wing. Saints players there in great numbers. Boone's knocking it away. Harvey for Jones. Back for Harvey. Back for Jones. Building up some numbers. Aussie sidesteps Burns. Drives towards Rewald and half forward. A couple to beat. In from the side. Burton paid the mark.
And that's been a great battle. Burton on Goddard. 2 exciting young players.
Umpire had come in to set the mark, so Rashudo, with his man not even in camera shot, Hayes lucky there as he trots back towards Rashudo. The ball will come back, and Burton will do the same thing. He's got to do it again. Local fans not happy with Mr. Coates, the umpire.
Well, they're not happy because there's about 4 options, Clinton. And
if the Saints don't man up now, then they never will they?
But they're all covered now.
Third time lucky.
And Burton will have to kick long to a contest on the wing. Target Perry. In the end at the back. Rashudo again. Towards half forward. Welsh charging out. Pushed off it illegally by Hutchton. Advantage play on, will it? No. Ronnie thought about keeping on going. It will come back for Welsh at left half forward, and Max can't believe it.
And Scott Welsh, great to see him back for the Crows. Very underrated player. When he plays, he just gives you a really good target, especially with Wayne Carey up there. Very underrated.
You just wonder, come September, a forward line featuring Welsh, Stevens, Carey, Perry. Boy, there's some targets there. Welsh to restore Adelaide's 20-point buffer. He's got his first.
Watch all the footy action on the big screen at Sky City Adelaide.
The margin back out to 20 points in favour of the Adelaide Crows. Welsh with his 12th goal of the season. Winning the tap there, Maguire, as I mentioned before, conceding height and weight and experience to Matthew Clark. And doing it pretty well.
It is tough in the clinches there. We spoke about Robert Harvey before. He's now up to 8 disposals, and he just does not stop running. Surely he's going to find out just how fit he really is today.
Stephen Powell's had 7. Clark won the tap. In there, Lenny Hayes. Plays a strong tackle.
When you're standing a player like Robert Harvey, he might not get a lot of the ball in the first quarter, but he just runs that hard that if you want to try and stay with him, it's very hard as the game goes on.
Lenny Hayes certainly a lot more attentive to Mark Rasciuto in this second term. Rasciuto still with 3 possessions. Clark took that one, and it was a good handball to get it out quickly. But that one wasn't. It went straight to Aussie Jones. Back to Berg. Bergs wasn't that flash, but they had time. And Lenny Hayes has the football. Ran into a bit of traffic, then went around it. The handball, not a good one. Smart grabs it. Good tackle by Maguire. Great desperation by Matthew Clark. Ball squirts out the side of the pack. Back out to Aussie Jones. Great vision on the left, and he's found Powell all by himself. Could nearly get there with the assistance of the breeze. It's a lovely looking kick, apart from the accuracy and just the point. St Kilda 5-2-32. Trail Adelaide 8-3-51 by 19 points.
Well, the Saints are looking good. They're throwing the ball around. They've certainly got options. And when there's a turnover, they've got 3 players.
Hard to bring it back into play. To this broadcast side, stabs it short for Rasciuto, and that's why Lenny Hayes surely is not the matchup. He's an aggressive player. He wants the footy himself. He doesn't want to be worrying about Rasciuto. But anyway, Rasciuto carves them up, and the Crows away. Shirley, Smart. Oh, look at that. Beautiful stuff from Smart. Quick hands. Lanhams and Begley combining beautifully. And Begley towards Welsh with Burns to mop up. And can he finish it in style? You know Ronnie will. You know Ronnie normally will. He didn't that time. Tiff Cherry, talk to us.
Heath Black, the Saints are just assessing him at the moment. He received a corky to his left side just in the dying minutes of the last quarter, but he should be right to come back on.
All right, thanks, Tiff. Boy, you don't see Ronnie miss those kicks.
Beautifully called, Clinton. We'll blame Ronnie for that. You were spot on. He was London to a brick to kick that one, so a big let-off for the Saints. Lenny Hayes has the football, and the Saints are running, courtesy of Powell. He's been pretty good. That's a great kick out to Maguire. Now, he needed a runner. There was no one there. Rewalt provides an option. That's ignored. The kick goes to centre-half forward. Wolf striding, left the footy behind. Smart kicked it into him for good measure. Dispossessed was Tyson Edwards. Handball over the top to the X-Man. It's a beauty. He in turn. Oh, great work by Tawney. But they've got a chance, and it's Milne. Will he give it over? He does to Rewalt, and sailfish play, and it's a goal.
Looking for new ways to meet people? You'll get 50 free local calls every month and unlimited internet hours when you combine your internet and home phone with Primus Telecom. This is a special offer and conditions apply. Primus Telecom, delivering the real value of communication.
Rewalt, goal number 24 for the season. First today. Margin 14 points. And the bounce, well, Maguire had to wait. As the big truck Clark came over the top, knocked it to Johncock, lost. Good match-up there now for the Saints and forcing a bounce.
Yeah, we mentioned Brett Voss before. He's come on leaps and bounds this year. Grant Thomas giving him bigger and bigger jobs. And he's played 80 games now. He's just coming into his own, I think.
Pensive Grant Thomas watching on as Maguire gets Rasciuto high. Rasciuto will take the free kick, possession number 13 coming up. He's already sent them inside 55 times. We'll make it a half dozen here, and he's driving it long towards the pocket. Ill-directed kick, Welsh. Runs into Baker. Now Voss. Does it clear the danger zone? Only for a time being. McLeod for Burton. Back from McLeod. And go backwards to loose men. This is Edwards. Sidestep around Montagna. Long to the hot spot. In front, Perry. 2 grabs, not the third. Harvey out wide, dangerous. Johncock for number 4.
When did you last stop and think about your home insurance? Does yours compare with Amy? Don't just renew your current policy. Compare it with Amy's great deals first.
Lucky you're with Amy.
It's Solomon's price snap on Click Laminate flooring. At a snap, we've dropped it to an unbelievable $19.95, but for a short time only. So hurry before Click Laminate at $19.95 is all snapped up.
Just magic.
Adelaide by 20 points again. And John Cock has kicked 4, kicked 5 against Carlton a little earlier this year. That's his best haul at AFL level. We'll keep an eye on him throughout the afternoon. Clark getting a lot of the football. Down to Harvey. So too is this man. Possession number 12. Out towards Rewald. Having a great battle there with Kenny McGregor. Likewise, Hamill and Ben Hart. Loose ball goes back out there looking for Montagna, who picks it up. Quick feed over towards Wolf, who's looked dangerous. On the left boot, Milne outnumbered. And the ball forces its way over the boundary line in the left forward pocket. Just over 12 minutes remaining in this second term at Amy Stadium. The sun is shining, the breeze going to the right of screen, the southern end of Amy Stadium. And it's been a great game of football. The young Saints side having a real dip. The tap came down to McGregor, had a fumble, spent it before he had it, but got it out to Rashudo. Turner speed by the veteran. Possession number 14. Puts it out to the open spaces. Over the top of it, Perry had time to recover. Might have got injured there in that little transaction and picks up a free kick for a high tackle. Let's see how he goes. Is he proppy? No, he's okay. Affectionately known as the Sergeant on the left boot. His kicking's improved. Burton. Desperate to take the hanger of the year, but he's given away a free kick. Just went up before acceptances there.
It's going to be an Adelaide free kick, in fact.
Well, if you're going to attempt something like that, why wouldn't you get a free kick?
It's gone against Goddard for the push-off.
Yeah, the push in the groin region. I suppose he attacked him front on, but gee, I thought that was 50-50 play on at best.
Definitely no free there.
Yeah. Burton puts it inside 50. Now, there's another exchange of bodies, and a free kick will go to Max Hutchton.
Yeah, Burton is exciting to watch. He tries things like that, and it just lifts the whole crowd, but certainly no free there for that one.
Let's see what the Saints can set up from defence. A little bit of confusion there. The free kick now goes back to Robert Harvey. There was that free kick again. Goddard just coming in front on, but we agree with Craig Bradley 100%. No free kick there. Aussie Jones, short pass out to Max Hudson. Gee, made him stretch for that one. And the mark was paid. I think he may have had enough of that one. Now's the time to get some goals on the board for St Kilda. They're kicking with a very strong breeze and they trail by 20 points. Goddard with the football. #1 draft pick at the National Draft last year. Up towards the half-forward flank. Hamill with a show of strength. Hart from behind. Loose ball comes out towards Burton again. And eventually off the boot there of Dal Santo, and the ball out of play. Tiffany Cherry down on the boundary.
Xavier Clark came off injured. He went straight down the race. It appears that he received a knock to the hip. So the Saints not looking too good at the moment, but he's warming up and just assessing him now.
Real crunch time for St Kilda now. Just over 10 minutes remaining in this second term. They have a very strong breeze. Now there's a turnover taken by Dal Santo. Rewalt the target. Missed that player. Missed Milne as well. Wolf picked it up. He's looked okay. Gets it back to Rewalt. On the left boot. Wobbly old torpedo punt. It's wide. And it's out of bounds in that left forward pocket. So they get another opportunity.
Well, they're chipping away, the Saints. They certainly need the next goal. Aaron Hamill's having an intriguing battle with Ben Hart at the moment. Honours fairly even, I'd say.
Blake to Harvey. Hurried left foot snap from the pocket across the face. And it's through for a behind.
And Robert Harvey is just in his own now. He's in the zone, working hard and racking up possessions.
Getting plenty of it this quarter. Is up to 14 possessions for the match now. Equal game leader with Mark Rashudo as Hart squeezes it very wide for Tawney. Former Tiger, little hand pass over the top. Goodwin, first game back since round 11. Tawney, a bit risky. Goodwin, ugly looking kick in front. Good use of the body by Hayes there. Saints might win it out through Aussie Jones. They do. Now, it's got an option. Well, in the centre corridor, goes slightly backwards. Not a good one. Black, they've still got numbers. Goddard, fumble from the first-year player, has to get it out, making hard work of it, St Kilda, but they'll win it out eventually as Kazitsky goes to Powell, who's got the proverbial paddock on the outer wing. A bounce. Hamill pleads for it short. He goes longer to Rewalt with 4 to beat. Not a good option. McGregor the mark. Now Rashudo as the Crows rebound. Burt on the outer side.
Yeah, not good enough from Powell then. He was coming into the 50, had St Kilda players on their own, and it was just a poor kick.
Margin 19 points as we head towards 9 minutes remaining before half-time. Burt and a high one to the outer wing. You'd like it, not too many others would. The high flyers go up and McLeod picks their pocket and he dances away and he might go all the way. 2 bounces, 50 out, hand pass off, good build-up, hurry kick at goal, Crows touched on the line. Laddams can't believe it, touched on the line. The goal umpire had a bit of view than Chris Laddams, but he looked adamant. St Kilda bring it in quickly.
I don't finish that one, Clinton. Jones might get another look at that to Goddard, who is playing a good game of football, having a great battle. Pass over the top. Great courage by Dal Santo. On the members' wing. And the Adelaide faithful still seething over that decision. Short pass was a poor pass and has been taken by Rhett Biglins. Just over 8 minutes remaining. The big fella kicks long. It's a terrible kick, though. Straight to Lenny Hayes. Now, a chance for a quick turnover here. They've got to make things start to happen now. They trail by 20 points still into Baker. Baker in the middle at Amy Stadium. The run provided by Lenny Hayes. Now, this is where they're breaking down across half forward at the moment. The kick inside 50. Smart forced out of it. Great mark by Tawney. Plays on straight away. Back half, very good for Adelaide. Ben Hart, a lot of experience. The record games holder for the Adelaide Football Club. In turn, gets it to John Cobb. Has he been moved, or is he just drifting down the ground to get into the action? Nice pass to Biglins. Let's see what he does this time. No one polices the mark, and he turns it over again. Well, keep an eye on the runner because he has found Kosicki, who kicked it across the ground to Hodgson.
The conditions obviously very swirly out there. It's very hard to pinpoint your kicks.
Another short pass. That one went into Heath Black. Back to Hodgson. 20-metre pass to Kosicki. On the right boot. Another turnover maybe. Oh, hell. Yes, free kick. The offender was Rashudo. The recipient is Harvey, and that is possession number 15. And I think he's found his target. Rewald, couldn't hold on to it. Tawney again, the former Richmond player, 7th in their best and fairest last year. And he's found Begley. Begley having a great game, 14 possessions. On towards Laddams. Adelaide inside 50. Strong mark taken there by Perry. Now this will test the centre half forward. I don't think he can get there from 55. Not into the breeze. His kicking has improved. Well, it looks like he's backing himself, or he's waiting for an option. Chance to put his side 26 points clear. Famous for his helicopter kicks. Well, this one wasn't, but it didn't have the distance or the accuracy. It's fisted down, taken by Ronnie Burns, the pop star. In turn, got it out towards Biglins. He's wrapped up there. Good tackle there by Heath Black. We'll have a ball up about 20 out.
Andrew McLeod here earlier on the burst. That's what he does at the bounce downs. He hits it at 100 miles an hour. And when he does, the crowd just lift.
Robert Shirley in there. Now this was the contentious one. Was it over the line? Maybe so. Laddams was convinced. Bounced down, he'll get another crack at it. In there doing the work is Blake. Good body work on ball. That was by Welsh. And taking it over the line, the man in question after that last attempt, Chrissy Laddams. Throw in right forward pocket. 59 plays 39 at Amy Stadium in front of a packed sellout crowd.
Crows pressing again. Biglins winning it down for Laddams, caught by Blake. High tackle. And he'll have a shot at goal from right half forward. Umpires have been prominent in this second quarter. And Laddams caught high.
And they're the free kicks when you are playing that really hurt you. They can go either way. For mine, that wasn't really a free kick. You could have a really good argument on it, but it's just a set shot in front of goal. You've got to be so careful.
And now it is a goal because it's a 50-metre penalty, which will advance him to the goal line.
Just in big games where you know it's going to be close, the result, there's plenty hinging on it. Just can't afford to give away those frees 30 metres out from goal.
May have almost been the late tackle by Heath Black, who came in at the very end.
I think it was.
So Lanhams will give the local fans something to appreciate as he extends the lead to 26 points.
Adelaide's two big teams are bringing you one big offer. Yes, right now at Radio Rentals and HomeCo, you can bring it home interest-free. Save on TVs, DVDs and computers and pay no interest till 2006. Save on dining settings, lounges and recliners and pay no interest until 2006. Save on washes and fridges and pay no interest till 2006. Save on beds and bedding and pay no interest until 2006. But only at Radio Rentals and HomeCo. Now that's twice as big.
10-5 to 6-3. Crows by 26 points.
Mark Bickley in the centre square into the action again for the final 5 minutes of this term, as he did in the first term. A lot of experience. He's been in pretty good form. Blake doing a pretty good job as well. Bigland's won the tap, though. Got it down to Stengline. He's wrapped up. The umpire and the players will do it all again. 10-5 to 6-3.
And Gary Ayres, Simon Goodwood, Mark Rasciuto off the ground at the moment, just having a break.
Blake in there doing the ruck work again, won the tap. Edwards couldn't get the kick away. Pretty tight and tough in there. Good work by Ball on the left boot. Wobbly old kick, and the mark's been taken by McGregor. Adelaide by 26 points, and McGregor puts it to the outer side where he finds the Birdman. Stops, props, pauses, assesses the options, and puts out a dangerous pass to Mark Bickley. Good pressure there by Hamill, as he always does. Bickley kicks long. Strong mark there, as Harvey goes for a spell and Stephen Mill back into the action. Good mark by Lenny Hayes on the outer side. Knew he was going to get hit. Perry came in strongly. Real class act is Lenny Hayes, and I think he's only going to get better.
Stephen Milne back onto the ground. He's just come on, drifting up forward. No one on him. He's just heading down to the goal square.
Shirley working hard. I think you'll appreciate the fact that Harvey's left the ground. Harvey 15 possessions, Shirley 7.
Stephen Mill at the moment, he's just come onto the ground. He won't run down to the forward lines just yet because he knows he'll get picked up. He's just treading water.
Bounce down on the outer side. Bigland's won the tap. Birdman over the top of it. Hasn't got the football. Trying to paddle it forward. Umpire blows the whistle. Now St Kilda inside 50, and they desperately need in this final 3.5 minutes to get at least 2 goals on the board. Harvey averaging 27 possessions a game, and he's been in magnificent form. Bigland's punched it forward. Over the top of it, trying to grab the ball is Edwards. Good pressure by Clark. Ball out of play on the outer side in front of the old scoreboard, which has Adelaide 10-5, St Kilda 6-3.
There's no doubt the Saints are having a go here. They're getting plenty of ball, just making a few poor disposal errors. But there's no doubt they're having a good crack at this.
Both of those leading ball winners off the ground at the moment as the Crows win the free kick following the boundary throw-in. 26 points their lead, heading up towards 3 minutes before half-time. And they want to try and affect the switch. Lanhams with plenty of space to roam. Delivers a good ball out to the wing for Hart. What a beauty. Hart now as they get some momentum up towards half forward. Hodgson, well, he went for the spoil and in the end should be paid the mark, and is. Bringing it on the way down. As the runner out wide, Aussie Jones loads it up, drives a good kick to half forward for Blake. This is better. Milne wants it against Begley. Blake centres it. Montagna, too far out to score. Goes to full forward, and Maguire. Comfortable mark after Nigel Smart slipped 2 metres behind him. And now, if Maguire kicks straight, it's back to as we were at quarter time, a 20-point game.
Well, when in doubt, Braddles just go for the old mongrel punt.
Well, exactly right, but that's the beauty of getting it in quick. They centred it into the middle of the ground, then didn't muck around with it, got it in quick. 2 on 2, you're always a chance. And young Maguire there playing in front. Sure, it was a tumble punt, but he was in front. And this will be a much-needed goal if he can put it through.
A teenager originally out of South Warrnambool, looking for his second. 2 minutes remaining in the quarter, and he splits the middle, and the Saints stay alive.
Well, it's time to get along and hit the trail to the Caravan and Camping mid-year sale. Big brands on display, bargain price, it's all away at the Caravan and Camping mid-year sale. There's everything you need to get away. Backpacks to a family holiday. 10 specials by the row. Camper trailers price to go at the Caravan and Camping mid-year sale.
Friday the 8th to Sunday the 10th of August. Royal Adelaide Showground.
After 26 minutes of football in the second term, the margin as it was at quarter time, 20 points in favour of Adelaide. Biglands wins another tap, tried to get it down to Stenglein, now does the roving himself. Umpire may blow the whistle, and he does. Good pressure there by Lee Montagna. As we see Robert Shirley just stretching and flexing the hips there. So still time for both sides, but St Kilda, a team that really does need another goal. Biglands fists it out towards the boundary side, picked up brilliantly one-handed there by Tyson Edwards, kicks around his body, and he finds the hot one. Graham Johncock has kick 4, puts it inside 50, looking for Welsh, diving mark. Did he hold it? Did he drop it? Umpire said he had it, and he had it long enough. One of the best kicks in the business has won. And he kicked it in this second term.
It's important for St Kilda now just to get players back, don't allow a short pass.
12 goals for the season, has struggled with injury, is a real talent. Hailed from the Kangaroos. And there's the reverse angle. And he starts that one, and it goes across the face of goal, so it's through for a minor score. The margin now 21 points with just under 1 minute remaining in this second term.
Heath Black to bring it back into play. 41 seconds to go the length of the field. It would give them a spark going into half-time if they can do it. Now, a risky ball over the head of Burton. Was it touched by the Saints? No, it was not. Crows to get a chance. And there's time for them now. Burton gathers it quickly. Centres it for Biglands. 60 metres out. Well, he drops the mark. He already was thinking about the handball. Begley. Goodwin delivers it towards the 50. Coming out in front. And Perry hasn't been paid the mark. Recovers. Oh, an ugly-looking kick. Might be effective. Begley's brought down. St Kilda defence holding up under enormous pressure here late in the half. Kaczynski, good handball. Voss took a little while with it. 10 seconds. Crows still dangerous. McLeod, ever present. Driving to fall forward. Downfield 3. Crows will have a shot after the siren. Undisciplined play by St Kilda. With 2 seconds of the half remaining, Andrew McLeod dealt with. Once the umpire whistles time off, Scott Welsh will have a shot as the siren sounds, and Stephen Milne, you're in some trouble, son.
Yes, I think he knew it when he did it too.
One word, undisciplined. How much will be the penalty? Welsh with 1 goal, 2 today. This to give the Crows a 27-point lead at half-time. And Amy Stadium would erupt again. To make matters worse for St Kilda, Stephen Milne's name is now being written in a little pocket-sized notepad in the umpire's pocket. We'll come back and talk more about it. Half-time, Crows by 27 points.
Fine, yes. So just tell him straight out the answer is yes.
This news break is brought to you by the bank that says yes to personal loans.
Good afternoon. The search is continuing for a group of men wanted over yesterday's road rage murder at Glenelg North. 31-year-old Adam Ballard died a few hours after being treated in hospital. He had been bashed by the men after a cat and mouse game between the car that he was in and a red Holden Commodore. The Monaro involved in yesterday's dramatic carjacking has been found at Seaton. A 2-year-old baby was in the back seat when it was stolen. He was dumped at a roundabout soon after. And Steve Waugh has scored his 32nd Test century.
From the indoors
Drama
to the outdoors, it's drama all round.
Shut up yourself.
The Block tonight on 9.
Fantastic. Shall we call him now? Sophie, I've got the winner of the competition. There's his number. Oh, he's cute. Oh, it's engaged.
Don't Don't miss important calls when you're on the internet. Be online and use your phone at the same time. For frustration-free internet, join iPrimus Broadband.
We need to grow. I'm just not sure how to go about it.
All right, well, let's have a look at the options.
When it comes to business thinking, chartered accountants have the superior training and business experience to guide your business in the right direction.
How big do you want this to be?
How big?
Yeah.
We've been working at the call centre for about 3 months, but before that, right?
It's pretty hard work, but the seriously big snack stop gets us through.
Can you hear me, Chief?
10-4, Big Daddy.
What do you think of this cheese and bacon potato mash snack stop? Oh, I love it.
New Maggi Snack Stop.
It's the moist, meaty chunks in pedigree that dogs really love.
The new Commodore. It's like corners were made for it. Monday, something's new.
That's my piggy bank!
And something isn't.
I got $2 for it. It has $16 in it!
All new Malcolm, Monday.
This AFL coverage proudly brought to you by Amy, Primus Telecom and Crazy Johns.
Beautiful Sunday afternoon in the city of Churches. Amy Stadium packed to capacity. A sellout today as the two teams make their way back out, preparing for the start of the second half. St Kilda in a very tight huddle, disappointed going into the half-time break, however. Stephen Milne, undisciplined act. Andrew McLeod has already kicked the footy. Stephen Milne reported for that incident. And very disappointing for Grant Thomas. The ball going downfield to Scott Welsh. He kicked the goal, his second, and after the siren, Crows out by 27 points, and Stephen Milne playing for with the second half with the knowledge that his name is in the book, and he'll be at the tribunal on Tuesday night. So here is another look at it. Remember, Fraser Gehrig suspended last week for one match. This is earlier in the match as Andrew McLeod. Boy, can he turn it on?
He certainly can, and look, I think Milne, he obviously didn't mean to do it.
But
yeah, he's just trying very hard at the moment, and it didn't work out for him, unfortunately. Starting this quarter on the bench, so I think that's a little statement there from Grant Thomas.
They've had some injury worries across the opening half, have the Saints. Tiff Cherry's been scouting the packs down there to bring us more.
The Saints bench has been reduced to 3 and will be for the game. Peckett will not come back on after rolling his left ankle. Black and Xavier Clark both look fine, and as for the Crows, they're looking pretty good.
Thanks for that, Tiff. Yeah, wonderful replay of an unfortunate incident there for the veteran Saint, Justin Peckett, game number 203, and to take no further part. So it's Adelaide by 27 points. Will the leash be applied on Mark Rasciuto for this second half? We will find out in just a moment. Remembering, at this ground, Adelaide 8 wins to St Kilda's 1 head-to-head. St Kilda's only win here against the Crows coming on a day when Tony Lockett kicked 10 goals. Round 22, 1991. We'll check if the Saints have made any significant matchups. Welsh in the goal square, Hodgson alongside. Third quarter, Crows heading from left to right with the breeze in this third term. And it's a good bounce from umpire Ryan to get us underway. And immediately Clark getting the hand to it first, but Lenny Hayes, will he lift for the Saints in this second half? Had 12 first half possessions, but he finds Edwards of the Crows. Rasciuto immediately in touch. Stenglein and Hayes on a collision course. There's a scramble on the outer wing, and we'll have a bounce.
Well, Rutten is now starting at full forward, and Voss has gone back to him. on him. So Clark is now picking up the dangerous John Cox. So that's about his third or fourth opponent. Hudson still on Scott Welsh. Bounce down on the outer side. Prosciutto in there, tried to soccer it off the ground, couldn't do so effectively. Stenglein asking the umpire for holding the ball. Umpire won't buy into that. And that is umpire Sean Ryan, and we'll have another bounce down on the outer side. Beautiful conditions here. The breeze favouring right of screen. Adelaide kicking with it, and they lead by 27 points. But it's the St Kilda side going forward. The mark's been taken by Aaron Hamill. Had a great battle this afternoon with Ben Hart. Short pass, and he's picked out Ken McGregor, who is also having an absorbing battle, and that's with Nick Riewoldt. Martin Matner onto the ground, back into the Crows lineup after some good form with the Sturt Football Club in the SANFL.
And Aaron Hamill at the moment is going with Burton on the wing. I'm not sure if he's shifted there or if he's just trying to shake the tag of Benny Hart.
Interesting one. They need someone to kick goals. And you would have thought that perhaps Hamill would be the man to do that. He's kicked 20 for the season.
Well, Grant Thomas, no doubt, would have sent the message to these young Saint guys. Their season's on the line now. They need to win this game. So it's all or nothing in this early part of this quarter.
No question of that. They are 2.5 games out of the final 8. Laddams gets it on the left boot. High kick close to the boundary line. Breeze got hold of it, and it's just forced over the boundary line. And just as important for Adelaide, as we've mentioned on a number of occasions, they need to win this game to get back into the top 4. I think they'd dearly like to eventually get second position. A lot of work to do yet. Ball thrown in the left forward pocket, about 40 out from the Adelaide goal. Clark front position, opposed to Maguire, who did it well at ground level. Squeezed out the handball to Baker. The ball goes in the direction of Prosciutto. Left it for Begley, having a great game against his old side. Laddams, was he pushed in the back? Not according to the umpire. Harvey takes it. Possession number 16. It went to Ozzie Jones. Make it 17 because it went back to Harvey, who in turn found Maguire, who picked out Prosciutto, who picks up his 18th possession. Kicks it up to centre half forward. John Cox kick 4, and you can make it 5. He's put it through.
The energy market's getting tough. Things are changing. We need an edge.
Well, let's look at the options. When it comes to business thinking, chartered accountants have the superior training and business experience to guide your business in the right direction.
When would you like to start?
Start right now.
Graham Johncock kicked 5 goals against Carlton back in round 13. He's kicked 5 goals already today. And just what the Saints didn't need, the Crows extending that already ominous half-time margin. That bounce should be recalled, shouldn't it? We're going to have a second bounce with umpire Colin Ralston. He says, sorry, guys. Mark McKenzie, another umpire, quit on Friday, partially because of the bounce. This one better. Ruckman still miss it. Powell hurries it forward without really looking. And Tawney was there. And the Crows can build again. This is Hart. Towards half forward. It's a well-weighted ball for Perry. Welsh on the lead. Perry in his direction is going to be chopped off, though, by Nathan Burke. Game number 322. Will the Saints lift for him as he surpasses Stuart Lowe and becomes the club's all-time games record holder this afternoon? Has had a quiet day. That's just his second kick. And it's effective, however. Luke Ball on half-back.
And it's just a little problem for the Saints at the moment. They get the ball to the wing position, and there's really not a lot of options for them. You see here.
Riewoldt in the end forced a punch, fists it over for a boundary throw-in, collided late with Laddams. There's no whistle.
Yeah, plenty of Crows getting back, and that's where they're launching their attacks from half-back. It comes in a half-back, they switch the play the other side to the other side of the ground, and they're away.
From the shadows to the sunshine on the members' side of the ground, and Clark got it down to Prosciutto, but there's a free kick going St Kilda's way. Chipping out, Maguire will take it. Should go quickly. Just takes some time and the options dry up. Xavier Clark drifts by at the bottom of your screen. Is that 15? No, it's play on. Powell. Well, look at Welsh. Thought it was 15. Was standing the mark. Risky. Centering ball for Hudson. Good mark. And Max feeding Kazitsky. He'll set up the attack here as he goes towards his great mate Riewoldt. Ball bounces by. In the pocket. McGregor did well. Good harassment. At the back, Matner shorts it for Hart. Kick smothered by Hamill. Crows still with numbers on half-back. Edwards got by one. Montagna the tackle. Clark running out of room. Under pressure. High kick. Maguire, tough one running with the flight of the ball on a fluky breeze here. And in the end, we'll have a bounce on the wing below us.
Yeah, good pressure there from Aaron Hamill. Just held the ball in there. Nick Riewoldt, he's the second highest mark taker in the AFL. Today, he's had 1 mark. It's not his fault. The Crows are dropping back on him, making it hard work. And he's just got to keep trying, keep persisting.
And well done to Colin Rouston, the umpire there. Not having a good day bouncing, so he tossed it in the air. Goodwin wins the clearance for the Crows. Kicks hurriedly to half forward. Well slaps it in front of McLeod. The bounce important. Doesn't matter. McLeod wins anyway. Goes to half forward. Look at the vision. And the finish for Burton. Now, Adams can peel off here if he so desires, but Brett Burton is going to go back and line up for his first goal of the afternoon. We need to say nothing else about Andrew McLeod, don't we? Just sit back and watch this.
What do we call him before? He's better than a Rolls Royce. He's whatever that is. I'm not sure, but Burton here. Aaron Hamill is on Ben Hart, so Burton just got away there. This is the hardest pocket on footy park to kick a goal from.
Kicked 4 goals last week against the Dockers, was their leading goal kicker last year, and look at that. It's another one for the Crows.
When did you last stop and think about the price of your home insurance? Does yours compare with Amy? Don't just renew your current policy. Compare it with Amy's prices first.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Selling your goods to cash converters is easy and convenient. We love the things you no longer want or need. And remember, we request 100 points of ID and record every transaction. Cash converters, a better way to sell and a great place to shop.
Adelaide with a very handy lead, 39 points, and it's Clark to do the ruck work. Didn't win the tap, though. Maguire's just gone to the bench. Stephen Milne back into the action, and Blake left to do the ruck work once again.
And there's Stephen Milne. He's run straight down to the pocket, all on his own. No one within 50 metres of him.
He's just snuck in there. I don't think anyone's aware. I would imagine someone will get back there very quickly. And down the other end of the ground, boys, Graham Johncock's picked up his 5th opponent, and that is Nathan Burke. So Clark's been removed. Now Matner has gone back onto Milne. The ball comes out towards Begley, having a very, very good game. Possession number 18. In turn, puts it out towards Stenglein. His kick was a pretty good one. And in fact, that was Shirley that found Ben Hart, who kicks around his body, clean bowls everyone. Picked up by Kaczynski, held back on the kick, and found Montagna. Has time to draw the player. Big looping handball over the top to Aaron Hamill. Matner is quick, applied great pressure. Got the kick away. Milne's in there, kicked the goal.
Catch all the footy action on the big screen at Sky City Adelaide.
Grant Thomas, team, not out of it. 33 points the margin, though. Will finish with the breeze, remember, but they'd have to be within striking distance at the final break. Confidence, though, boosted by Milne's second goal, as we'll have a second bounce in the middle. Maybe bench him for that indiscretion prior to the start, but prior to the siren, and now get him back out there and leave him on. Let him kick 4 or 5. Crows win the clearance. Goodwin's kick off the side of the boot. Might favour Burton. Burke looming from the opposite direction. Had to peel off his man. Burton did well. Johncock. Handball deflected by Ball. And Johncock with the tackle on Baker. And we'll have a bounce 55 out from the Crow goal. Tackles, the Saints 33, the Crows 26. Clark convincingly to McLeod, given plenty of latitude. Out in front of Perry, the kick wide of him, but bounces on the line for a boundary throw-in.
And a change's been made there. Nick Riewoldt gone to centre-half back on Perry. Good move from Grant Thomas just to get the young fella into the game.
Maybe stem the tide this term as you see McGregor dash off and Smart come back into the fray. Clark wins it down. Here's Lenny Hayes. He's tied up. Good tackle, Stenglein. Harvey out for Luke Ball. Deep in the defensive zone. Goddard is on. He goes to him. Goddard marks. This is good. Now, some run for the Saints. Goddard will go towards Hamill against Hart, charging after it at half forward. Hamill to apply the tackle. Hart stops, caught. Hamill, good tackle. Hart takes it over, boundary throwing.
Well, Adelaide needing to do some restructuring in the back half with Rewald going down the other end of the ground and picking up Perry. And there was a mismatch with McGregor on Wolf, so Smart has gone back onto Wolf.
60 from the Saints goal. Clark winning it again. Shirley spinning out of trouble. Did very well under pressure from Ball. Burton now towards Perry. Rewalt, the spoil, fair. Laddams to half forward. Voss dragging down Rutten. Free kick is paid. Now, Rutten's got a choice here. He's only had 3 kicks in AFL footy as Heath Black heads to the rooms. He's kicked 3 goals. His first kick today. Does he load up the top and go for it to keep the streak alive?
Of course he does.
Or does he handball it off? He'll kick from 55 out. The breeze will be coming from right to left as he tosses the grass in the air.
He is a thumping kick, and give him a better than even money chance here.
He's going to try and join Richard Lounder and Daniel Metropolis, the only men with 4 goals from their first 4 kicks. Remember Clendenning the record on it. It's not going to be a goal. The streak ends at the back. Hodgson did well. Berg, Del Santo. Saints to try and clear. Del Santo goes to Kazitsky.
And it's 3 against 1. He needed to find that player, and he did, right on the chest. Kazitsky kicks around his body, looking for Hamill. He renews acquaintances there with Ben Hart. 2 against 1. Goodwin tried to steal it. He came in from the front, couldn't do so. He is a very, very strong competitor, Aaron Hamill. And there'll be a ball up in front of the members' wing.
He certainly is 1 on 4 then. 1 on 4 outnumbered, but once again, just held onto the ball, forced a ball-up situation, and that's exactly what St Kilda wanted.
We'll get back to Hamill in a moment. I'll ask you a question. We may be able to do that now. You played with him, Craig. He would be one of the most courageous and competitive players I've seen.
Well, from pressure as a forward player inside the 50, I don't think I've seen a better player in terms of putting pressure on a defender.
Should he still be at Carlton?
Well, I'd love him to be at Carlton.
Quick handball there by Clark to Rashuto. Baker in there, his 4th possession of the game. Loose ball picked up by Shirley, sweeping handball, didn't find a teammate. Ozzie Jones working hard as usual, an industrious player he is. Over the head of Hodge, going through strongly, there was Hart to Goodwin, back to Matner, good hands by Adelaide. In turn, Tyson Edwards spears out a pass, and here's bound Shirley to Hart. Gee, they like to throw the football around. Now Tyson Stenglein has it. There's the long kick. Front possession. Perry stood tall and strong. Looking into the sun. Takes the mark. And will make the distance. He'll kick from about 49 metres out.
And one matchup I do like is Nathan Burke on John Cock. Nathan Burke, absolute champion, and congratulations to him for his games record today. But just keep an eye on John Cock now. I'm pretty sure Nathan Burke, he's a tough, steely competitor, and he will not give much away.
Well, he's standing in front of John Cock at the moment. I think Perry will get the distance without any problems. He has won. It'll be a matter of accuracy. Not bad off the boot. Very good off the boot. The crowd like it. He's kicked his second.
Tonight, it's monster trucks down under. You can just smell the testosterone. Look at the muscle. Look at the air they're getting. Hang on a minute. Hold it, Rodeo. What the?
The bigger, tougher, all-new V6 Rodeo.
What seems to be the problem?
It's a monster truck.
I love this job.
Back to 39 points. Bounce again, not straight. Clark winning it down, Laddams. Shirley bumped off it. Hayes and Harvey doing the work. We'll do it again.
And I think one thing for the Saints supporters is they've got a good young side. Adelaide, they're mature bodies. They're a bit more experienced. They seem to run out at the end of the season a little bit better at this stage, but the Saints have got a great list and a good future.
Ruckman spoil it for one another, but Kazitsky, good second effort. Del Santo for Stephen Powell. Saints get the clearance. Milne, Hamill, good pickup. Caught, Tawney, excellent pressure. A bounce, 40 out from the St Kilda goal. And Rewalt takes a seat. We'll get Tiff to check out if there's an injury there. As you see, Hamill just needed another metre on the kick. And then the good pressure from Jason Tawney. Bounce. Clark. Here's a go. Powell. Handball over the top. Would reach Goddard. The bounce important. Hayes is there. Hart riding the bumps. Lost the footy. Rashudo. Burton hurries the kick away. An important ball here. St Kilda should win it. Johncock with 3 to beat. Boundary line looming. Hamill flicked it in for Wolf. Wonderful handball to Hamill. A beauty. And a good kick from Hamill to Goddard. And he takes the mark. 40 out. 10 in from the boundary at left half forward. The immensely talented Brendan Goddard in game number 13. Might have a shot for goal here. I believe we can check in with Tiff. You've got news on Nick Riewoldt.
Riewoldt, I asked the medical staff because he was sucking into Mare in the second quarter if he was okay. They assured me he was absolutely fine. He was just a little bit unfit. And as we see, Black has just come back on the ground.
Thanks, Tiff. Goddard just 1 goal in his AFL career. Misses to the near side. Nonetheless, it was an impressive build-up by St Kilda, and the intensity's still there, the passion's still there.
Well, a very classy build-up to Aaron Hamill's tap out, quick handball, and a beautiful pass there. Very classy from the Saints.
Mike Rashudo with a quick kick to himself, picks up another possession. That's number 22. Kicks it back out towards the members' wing. Over the top of that one is Heath Black. Free kick went St Kilda's way. Advantage was paid. Ball went to Kazitsky. Back to Black, who kicks laterally to find Baker. He's looking after McLeod. In turn, he finds Dal Santo on the outer side. Short pass, looking for Harvey. Went over the head of that player. Loose ball now picked up. Opportunity. And a goal. They've kicked another one. Hodge.
It's the simple things in life. Simple things like good conversation and sharing a joke with your mates. And simple things like Microsoft Windows XP with Messenger that make it possible. It's amazing what you can do with Microsoft Windows XP.
Luke Ball celebrating. Saints not done with. It was a big draft, that 2001 draft.
Both very talented, aren't they? Ball and Hodge.
Throw in Judd there. It's a good triumvirate. There's Stingline's caught out of the middle. Hurries the kick to centre half forward. Blake knocking it away from Perry. Shirley, good pick-up. Nigel Smart on the run towards the goal square. Leaping Rashudo off hands behind.
And that's the beauty of Mark Rashudo. When he's not on the ball, he can rest up forward. Nigel Smart there also working off half-back.
Aussie Jones quickly back into play. Good target for Wolf on half-back. What do you think? 4 goals they've got to be within at the last change, Craig? Or do they have to be closer to try and squeeze back the Saints?
Well, the Saints are doing everything right at the moment. They're just having a crack at it. They're persisting.
Wolf towards Maguire on the wing. The young man stands tall, takes the mark, gets met late, gets 50. Will have a shot at goal to try and kick his 3rd.
Bickley can't believe it.
Another look at it. It was a good mark. And then Bickley. Well, Maguire helping with the roll. Another look at it. Not a lot in it. Not a lot in it, but it's been paid. And now Maguire, if he kicks straight, Saints will have 2 in a row. And they'll be back within 27 points and kicking with the breeze in the last term. An important kick. Maguire should get it. And he does. And the Saints have got 2 in a row. And Matthew Maguire is suddenly a very unlikely forward. He had only kicked 4 goals in his career prior to this afternoon. He's now got 3, helped along by that 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, fantastic effort from the young fella. Nick Riewoldt gets taken off the ground, and still St Kilda are functioning very well. 4 goals. If they can just get the next one, they are right back in this.
The margin 27 points as the Adelaide faithful try and rev up their team. Bigland's doing the ruck work. Ball comes down towards Goodwin in his comeback game. Stolen beautifully there by Tyson Edwards. Onto the right boot. It's a high ball and coming through his Laddams. Read it to perfection. Plays on the natural left from 60 metres out. Welsh gets back there. Did anyone touch it? I don't think so. It's a goal from 60 to Chrissy Laddams. His second for the game. 43 points.
Yeah, and that hurts. That hurts badly. There's nothing worse when you're out there and you just start to get things going and the opposition gets a quick goal. But they've just got to hang in there, still in at the Saints.
Now played 44 games for Adelaide, Chris Laddams. And a dangerous forward, 17 goals for the season. And not bad in the midfield rotation as well. Biglands opposed to Maguire. Ball came down to Harvey. Paddling it forward there was Shirley. Over the top of that is Burke. Shirley got in underneath. Good desperation. And eventually the umpire blows the whistle as we go down to Tiffany Cherry.
Lenny Hayes came off for Black, and it looks like he's got some back-related hamstring trouble. He's just receiving a massage at the moment.
Had a tough day, Tiff, haven't they, down there, the Saints? Big one's winning it down. Burns emerging. Out to Laddams. Can he get number 3? He'll line it up. He'll give it a ride. He'll finish it off. Laddams has got 3. And all of a sudden, the Crows snuff out that mini Saints revival.
Yes, and the Saints doing a good job looking after some of the bigger name players. But the young fellow there with his 3rd goal, getting a bit of space. You see here the clearance out of the pack and all on his own. Plenty of space on his left foot. In the end, turned out to be a simple goal.
Should we say again they're number 1 in clearances? Local fans excited. Big one's got a hand to it. Bickley. Saints simply must respond, but it's Burns darting away. Delivers inside 50. Goddard back there. He's done all right too. 13th possession. A good kick out wide for Aussie Jones. He'll just stripped it over the top by hand. It's effective. Here's Harvey. Running as always. Possession 19. Long to full forward. Milne or Wolf at the back. Milne, but Tawney standing tall. Takes the mark. Plays on to Begler. Out wide for Burton. And Crows so quick at turning defence into attack, and Burns has half a wing to play with. Can keep on going. Didn't come back the way he intended, so kicks quickly to half forward for a shootout. Good pressure by Boss, illegal pressure in the back. And 50. Saints, you've got to be more disciplined than that. It's a goal to the Crows. It'll be 3 in a row, and that might be the straw that breaks the back for Grant Thomas. How many times can you give away goals in an afternoon? Heath Black, the man there who didn't return the ball properly. Boss giving away the free.
Yeah, Boss a little bit stiff there. He put enough pressure on the Biggaroo to drop the ball. Unfortunately gave away the free. Lo and behold, a 50-metre penalty and just a walk-up goal.
Yeah. You know the umps are hot on it today. You'd be handing the ball back with silver service. Rashido's got his first. The Crows have kicked 3 goals in 4 minutes. And suddenly, almost that breeze turns into a hurricane. The Saints have got an awful lot of work to do in the last term. It's 17-7 to 10-4. Ronnie Burns setting it up. Mark Rashido hooked along, finishing it off.
And such is their side. They can score quickly, as we see. They've kicked 3-4 goals in the last 3 minutes. It's just such a very skillful side, coming off half-back, rebounding well.
The margin out to 45 points in front of 44,667 fans. Bigland's got up high, ball went straight to ground, and they'll have to do it all again. Quite amazing. They've worked hard, St Kilda. They got back to 27 points to give themselves a chance in the final term when they will be assisted by the breeze. The margin now 45, and it happened in a blink. Bigland's again, a tap out wide with the right palm. Del Santo thrown to the ground. Take 3. Biglands will have to get up and do it all again. Rashido has been a mild sensation this afternoon. 23 possessions. Brett Burton 20.
And you see Nathan Burke there. He's done a wonderful job on John Cox since he's gone to him.
In there, Maguire's tried his heart out. Stengline smothered off the boot. Burton over the top of it. And they'll do it all again. And there we see Nick Riewoldt. Hasn't been a big afternoon for him, and you can't help but think that everything's not A-OK with him at the moment.
Well, he did get cleaned up last week, so obviously the body's a bit sore.
Big ones again, won the tap. Went out to McLeod. Quick feed out to Burton. Likes to run with the football. Great kick around his body. Looking for Welsh. Couldn't find that player. Loose ball, trying to push it forward. It comes back out to Burton again. He'll have to get rid of it. Was he tackled high? He was. Over the shoulder. And the Birdman will line up for his second goal of the game. And a chance to put Adelaide 51 points ahead.
Well, I think the Saints are guilty there of just trying too hard, being a bit sloppy. 2 players came in, so the pressure's there, just a little bit untidy. 30 metres out from goal, as we said earlier, you just can't do that.
Yeah, Heath Black came in late. The bottom of the pack was Blake. Leading goal kicker for Adelaide last year with 51. Started last week on the wing, opposed to Matthew Carr. Went up forward and ended up kicking 4. Let's see if he can pop through his second. Looks pretty good off the boot. Did he sneak it through? He did. Adelaide move along to 18 goals, 7. St Kilda 10-4. Well, if they're not careful, this could get very ugly for St Kilda.
Amazing, Craig. 8 minutes ago we were talking about it being game on, margin back to 27 points, and then 4 goals in a hurry, admittedly helped along by a couple of over-enthusiastic Saints, shall we say, and suddenly a margin beyond half a century.
Brett Burton, 22 possessions this afternoon.
What a month he's having. Back in the centre with Biglands and Maguire. Biglands got a good run at it. Goddard head down over it, will have a second bounce.
And interesting to see Robert Harvey then. For the first time, he's not in a centre bounce. He's out on the wing. And as soon as that ball was bounced, he sprinted as fast as he could in. Simply no rest.
Yep, down on his haunches almost there alongside of Shirley. Sucking in the deep breaths. With quick hands, too quick, in fact, from Goodwin. Crows shovel it forward. Johncock under pressure. Stenglein, McLeod, flicks into overdrive. Goes long to the pocket. And it's too deep for Welsh and company, and it's through for a behind.
Yes, Andrew McLeod just slipping into that 5th gear he's got. There's none better at it. And the Crows at the moment just looking full of confidence.
18-8 to 10-4. Remember, today's match, the last time the Crows will meet a team currently outside of the top 8 in the run home. It starts next week with Sydney travelling here to Amy Stadium. Saints with Hudson in possession. They can't afford defeat today. They will be 7-10 if they lose, with 5 to go. Remembering 12-10 the likely mark to get you 8th spot. They'd have to win every game in the run home. Hudson long, high ball, awkward one to mark. Maguire, good spoil. Powell tried to force it over and did so. No, free kick St Kilda's way. Going to Powell, held on to after he got rid of it. 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Saints will finish with the breeze, but need 1 or 2 prior to the break, you would think. Powell towards the outer wing. This is Ball, under pressure, did well. Blake, Black, Hayes, good build-up. Lenny showing some toe, runs into trouble. Awkward, ungainly looking kick, might be effective. Wolfer's back there, can he get it off the ground? Begley was working hard. Montagna got it to Wolf. Crows still a chance. Edwards clears the danger zone. And look at this. They're going to end up with something here because Hart will gather and give it to Perry down the line. He does so. And Perry will drive the Crows forward. Steadies, takes on Maguire. Maguire almost had him. Now Perry, high ball. Crows with numbers, Burt. He could kick his 3rd goal for the quarter. How quickly can they transfer it from defence to attack?
There's none better at it in the league, I don't think, in terms of across the half-back line, switching play. And Burton here came in unassisted, was always going to mark this. That's a pretty boring mark for him, I would have said.
He was waiting for someone there to...
He can do a lot better than that.
Try and make it creative. Crows victory today. They're in the top 4. Burton for another one. For an 8-goal quarter, no less. Becoming a procession. 5 goals in the time-on period here in quarter number 3, and the margin's out to 58 points.
And as we said, this Adelaide side, more mature. It's a long season. We've got 4 games to go. This young Saints side, they'll learn from this. They'll they'll come back next year, bigger and better, but the young kids, they'll go away with a better experience.
Well, they've been inconsistent, and I suppose to a certain extent you would expect that with the youth that they have in their side. But they're going to be around the mark in the next few seasons. They're getting blown away at the minute. Biglands wins another tap. The ball came out to Burton, has it on a string at the moment, jams it onto the right boot. It's a race for pace. Latham says, leave it. You, Shepherd, I want it. Gets it, gets the handball back over to McLeod, goes back through traffic, finds a little bit of space, and he finds John Cock as well. John Cock. Graham John Cock has kicked 5 goals. 3 in the first term, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. And this will be a career best effort if he can put this one through after the siren. And wouldn't he love that? And Adelaide would go to a 10-goal plus lead. Currently 58 points.
Nathan Burke just called in the ruckman there just to stand the mark. Little thing, just make it a little bit harder to kick over.
Can't buy experience. John Cock, straight away. He knew he'd kicked it. He loved it the moment it hit the top of his foot. He has kicked 6 goals, and Adelaide now lead by 64 points.
It's their all-time best ever first and third quarters now for the Crows. Why won't they smile? Final term coming up next.
Monday.
Guys, I've got great news.
It's an all-new episode of Friends.
That's great.
With all new surprises and all new secrets.
Oh, my God. I know. I love Ross.
All new Friends and Malcolm from 7:30 Monday on 9.
I'll get down on my head.
Week after week, I go into the streets and meet all sorts of very interesting people. If aliens were looking for intelligent life forms, they'd be very disappointed. Yep, I'm in a lot of crazy fans.
But now I'm proud to tell you I've become a true Crazy fan myself. And why not? Crazy Johns are the best mobile phone retailers in the country because everyone knows they give the best deals. Crazy Johns are #1 for mobile phones. Call 13 22 99.
Crazy Johns, we love you, mate!
Team Textiles, this is the place.
On sale at Team Textiles for July only, upholstery fabrics marked down to $5 a metre.
Look at all those fabrics.
July only, marked down.
I could reupholster the lounge.
All fabrics are marked down, only at Team Textiles July sale.
Selling your goods to cash converters is easy and convenient. We love the things you no longer want or need. And remember, we request 100 points of ID and record every transaction. Cash converters, a better way to sell and a great place to shop.
Well, it's time to get along and hit the trail to the caravan and camping mid-year sale. Big brands on display, bargain prices all away at the caravan and camping mid-year sale. There's everything you need to get away, backpacks to a family holiday. 10 specials by the row, camper trailers priced to go at the caravan and camping mid-year sale.
Friday the 8th to Sunday the 10th of August, Royal Adelaide Showground.
We need to grow. I'm just not sure how to go about it.
All right, well, let's have a look at the options.
When it comes to business thinking, chartered accountants have the superior training and business experience to guide your business in the right direction.
How big do you want this to be?
How big?
Yeah.
Tonight's the night. It's monster trucks down under. You can just smell the testosterone. Look at the muscle. Look at the air they're getting. Hang on a minute. Hold it, Rodeo. What the?
The bigger, tougher, all-new V6 Rodeo.
What seems to be the problem?
That is fun.
It's a monster truck.
I love this job.
Monday, Sean McAuliffe may be accident-prone, but he's never alone.
That guy is hysterical.
This week, catch up with talk show king Clive James, Tony Martin, and the Super Jesus. McAuliffe tonight, 9:30 Monday on 9.
This AFL coverage proudly brought to you by the all-new Holden one-tonner, Sky City Adelaide, and Chartered Accountants.
Well, aside from waxing lyrical to the players, I wonder what the Crows coaching staff are saying. Here's Mark Micken with Tiff Cherry.
Well, Mark, you'd be happy then with your delivery inside 50.
Yeah, it improved a lot that quarter, and we were more efficient. We had, our goal kicking was good, and our midfield was terrific, and our defence held up really well as well.
Well, the Saints have got the breeze now. Would you go a little bit more defensive or more of the same?
Oh no, I think more of the same. I think we've got a fair bit out of just winning the ball, and despite the breeze, I still think we can score into it.
Thanks for that. Cheers.
Hey, Tiff, I hope you're going to tell me it's a 10-goal breeze.
It's actually dropped down a little bit now. I'd say it's only probably 2 goals.
Okay, so an 8-goal margin at the end then. We're not going to go and put money on, though. We don't do that in the AFL. Justin Peckett spent the afternoon on the bench. This is back in the first quarter. Left ankle. Ouch, that's got to hurt. And during the break, he was about as glum as they come here at AAMI Stadium. Just got the feet up, relaxing, pondering. 29 years of age, game number 203's. Had a good year, had 24 touches against the Bombers back in round 14. So the margin, 64 points, quarter remaining. Goal, first of all, for the Saints, win the quarter. They haven't been able to do that this afternoon. Who knows if they get a few early? Well, plenty of things have happened, Craig.
Plenty of things have happened.
They've got the breeze. Biglands and Maguire. Ball tied up by Stenglein. And we'll do it again. Anyone caught your eye from the Saints aside from the always irrepressible Robert Harvey?
Well, he certainly is my best today. Just his work rate's been terrific. I like Baker's job on Andrew McLeod.
Yep.
Adelaide have had a lot of possession. He's done a terrific job on McLeod.
McLeod with 14 touches for the afternoon, but earlier on it looked like he was going to be explosive as the Crows win it away. Rewald back on the ground, just 5 possessions for he this afternoon. And like Max Hudson earlier, in spoiling, he comes up with a mark. But, as Tiff told us, slightly troubled after copping that knock to the hip against the Kangaroos. Were question marks as to whether or not he was going to play, as you saw Baker there peeling off McLeod. And now Hamill has it spoiled away. This is Matner going short to the 50. Rewalt with the spoil again. Hayes goes without it. At the back, Voss caught. Good tackle, terrific tackle, rewarded. Kerry too far out to score. He's got Biglands appealing at centre-half forward for it, but he ignores that. Goes a little longer, and big fly Goddard. And at the back, Maguire takes the mark and will bring it to the broadcast side for Del Santo.
And he finds Del Santo with a short pass. Now he, in turn, goes infield looking for Powell, who's been pretty good. Possession number 19 for Stephen Powell. He's at centre-half back. AAMI Stadium in front of 44,667 fans. The margin is 64 points. The Saints have the breeze. They had it in the second term, but they still lost that quarter by 7 points. Montagna along the half-forward flank. Took on everyone and may pay the price. Perry is there. Now Austin Jones picked up by Rewalt. Del Santo back to Aussie Jones. Just punches that one with the right boot. 2 against 1, but the mark's been taken, and a strong mark. And it looks like Blake it is. Adelaide player down. 2 players down. Del Santo as well. Now I was watching the football. One is Del Santo. The other, is that Stenglein or Matner? Martin Matner. It looks like it could be a right knee or ankle. He is walking, and Del Santo is going to stay out there. So the ball with Blake. Kicked 1 goal this season, 7 career goals. This is the start the St Kilda side needs. Has he put it through? He has just missed to the right. So the margin back to 63 points. And we might go down to Tiffany, and Martin Matner looking very proppy. We'll get an update on that shortly. The ball transferred to the outer side, and that has been taken by Tawney. Tawney in turn, looking for Stenglein. Got it on the first bounce. Has to break the tackle. Good work there by Luke Ball. Dead heat when Adelaide looked like they were going to run away with the football.
Yes, and Adelaide again, once again, running the ball up quickly. St Kilda get it. They stop-start a lot, and Adelaide, they just refuse to go back and take their time. They're off and running.
And just a clash of legs there between Dal Santo and Martin Matner. So let's hope both players are okay. Bounce down on the outer side. Over the top, Aaron Hamill. Big fist away. Goes down to Ronnie Burns. A little bit of the football in the third term, but has taken that one over the line.
Free kick against Goddard in the Adelaide attacking zone. He was doing some holding on to Laddams, and Laddams will take it about 50 metres out from goal.
Well, I don't think it's been too harsh to say they have been a little undisciplined at times today.
Well, that was... that had to be 100 metres off the ball then, so whatever was going on was a bit silly.
Chris Laddams has kicked 3 goals for the game. He'll have a shot from right on 50. He's one of the better exponents of goal kicking in the Adelaide side. And they've kicked 20 today. So the conversion rate has been a lot healthier. He kicks from 49, and he has dragged it to the right as well. Another minor score.
Yeah, lucky let off there for the Adelaide Crows. Their zone here, defensive zone they've got for the kick-out's extremely good. All the guys put their hands up. They're on the move all the time. They're not just standing still.
And it's an important last quarter for the Crows too, by way of percentage. Voss's kick is smothered, opens the door. Goddard with several to beat, did well. Got it on to Burke. And now Montagna. And he's got Rewald on the outer wing with support. And he uses that support. Ball. Rashudo pursuing him. Got it on to Hayes. Marches the back past Biglands. Goes short. Kaczynski had it knocked away well by McGregor. Dal Santo spinning, finding an opening, snapping across the face of goal for a behind as we check in once again boundary side with Tiff.
No major concerns with Martin Matner, just a heavy knock to his shin. They're icing it up to stop any swelling.
Well, that's good news as Hart brings it back into play, short for Laddams. Travelled the required 15, so no goals as yet, early stages, final term. Last match of round 17 to be completed. Laddams to the wing. Good use of the body by Ronnie Burns. Away towards John Cock. Over his head. McLeod worn well by Baker. John Cock away. Number 7 coming up. No! Out on the full.
That was his easiest opportunity.
He's kicked 6 straight today. And that one nearly in the same postcode.
Might have to drag him for that.
A remarkable miss. Goddard to Harvey. To Baker. Defensive side of the members wing. It's around Perry, but bereft of options. Almost needed a shot clock. Sends it to the wing. Under pressure, Kaczynski, well done. For Lenny Hayes. For Powell. Will go to the centre corridor. Makes Blake wait at full stretch. Does well. Harvey. Excellent handball to Aussie Jones. He can be a penetrating kick. Aussie on the run from 50. He hooks the kick. And the Saints start this final term with 3 straight behinds.
Well, no one wants to kick a goal in this final term. Both sides having a number of chances. Rashudo another possession. That's number 25. He's the equal leader with Brett Burton. Ball now out on the outer half forward flank, and a diving attempt there by Graham Johncock. And I just couldn't believe that other miss, Braddles. That was his easiest opportunity, I think.
Well, a great burst of speed. I think he was running too fast. In the end, he was flying.
Good Shepherd applied to help him out too by Ian Perry. Nevertheless, an opportunity gone. Throw in on that outer side. Sun still shining here at Amy Stadium. The tap down. Loose ball. Montagna tried to get it out. Ronnie Burns looking for it, asking for it, and got it. Now gave it over towards Shirley. Shirley to the pocket looking for Welsh, and Perry punched away there. Good work by Maguire, who's tried very hard this afternoon and has kicked 3 goals as well. So he can hold his head up high. Stephen Mill, well, he'll be a little bit busy through the week after being reported for a high tackle, a head high tackle on Andrew McLeod. The Grant Thomas knew they had to put it all on the line today. They needed a victory. Not easy coming to Amy Stadium against a class opposition. Free kick will go the way of Brett Voss. In turn to Dal Santo. Put him under a little bit of pressure. Oh, Rutten did well, the big fella. Back to Voss. Crowd wanting holding the ball. Play on was the right decision. Rewald had a fumble. Ball at ground level. Rashudo, possession number 26. He tried to give it to Stephen Powell. It's close to the boundary line. Good pressure by Burton. And another throw in on that outer side. Just under 14 minutes remaining. Adelaide 20 goals, 9. St Kilda 10-6. Adelaide desperate to get up into that top 4 again.
And the Perth hangover, 14 teams have travelled to Perth, only one's won, and Adelaide will win today.
Just going down by a point last week to the Dockers. Rashudo again, possession number 27 to Begley, playing against his old side. He's had a good one. Hart was dispossessed. Montagna takes it, goes for a bounce, make that 2 bounces. He's inside 50. Have another one, son. No, he lines up and he kicks it. They finally got it right.
Adelaide's 2 big teams are bringing you one big offer. Yes, right now at Radio Rentals and HomeCo, you can bring it home interest-free. Save on TVs, DVDs and computers and pay no interest till 2006. Save on dining settings, lounges and recliners and pay no interest until 2006. Save on washers and fridges and pay no interest till 2006. Save on beds and bedding and pay no interest until 2006. But only at Radio Rentals and HomeCo. Now that's twice as big.
Margin 56 points. Back in the centre, Bigland's getting it down wide of Shirley. Stenglein takes it, hurries it towards centre half, forward at full tilt. Good grab by Voss. In front of Rutten, the second game, quiet today. Out wide, Bacon. In the lengthening shadows here at Amy Stadium. Hayes, that was neat. Now Maguire has kicked 3 goals. To Stephen Powell. John Cock closing. Powell kicking, high ball. Hamill the target, running back into the pack with courage. Couldn't take it. Walker's there. Gets it on. Del Santo feeding it out wide. Ball. Hurries one forward to the pocket. Kick partially smothered. Hart playing for the boundary line. Couldn't get there. Ball keeping it in. Nice little sidestep. Running, dribbling kick. Not good. And Tawney didn't want to concede a behind. Oh, they might have. They perhaps should have. Hamill, Burt, can Hamill wrench it out of there? No, he cannot. Will have a bounce.
Yeah, just a little bit fancy there from the Crows. Should have played the percentages. St Kilda here. Adelaide, plenty of numbers back in the defensive area.
Big ones for Rashudo, and out to Burton, and they will clear again. And that kick partially smothered by Hayes. Now Powell. Hayes and Burke combining. High one to the pocket. Can someone pluck something? Wolf, Bigland's over the top. Rashudo, well, put Edwards under the pump, didn't he? No chance to get rid of it there. We'll have another bounce.
And they're fighting hard, the Saints. They haven't given it in. Getting plenty of the ball and continuing to run. It's not easy out here. There's 40,000 Crow supporters. You're 10 goals down. It's hard work, but they are persisting.
Adelaide dominating those clearances, and they've won the hit-outs 56-26. The Saints win this clearance, and it'll end in a goal to Harvey.
Week after week, I go into the streets and meet all sorts of very interesting people. If aliens were looking for intelligent life forms, they'd be very disappointed. Yep, I mean a lot of crazy fans.
But now I'm proud to tell you I've become a true crazy fan myself. And why not? Crazy Johns are the best mobile phone retailers in the country because everyone knows they give the best deals. Crazy Johns are #1 for mobile phones. Call 13 22 99.
Crazy Johns, we love you, mate!
The margin 50 points to the Adelaide Crows, a goal to Robert Harvey, and 44,000 people enjoying this game at Amy Stadium. Lenny Hayes over towards the champ again. Robert Harvey, another possession. That's 23 for the afternoon. Loose ball comes out to Aussie Jones. It just bounced over his head. Begley gets it back to Bickley. Bickley in turn to Hart, ducks the head. Loose ball, Hamill in there, working hard. Free kick over the shoulder. And it was picked up by the umpire, who was furthest away from the action. And the recipient will be Ben Hart. What a career Ben Hart has had. 4-time All-Australian, 266 AFL games, 29 years of age. Just over 11 minutes remaining in this final term. And after you wrap him up, he does that to you. Happens every time, Clinton. We can forgive him one mistake. Robert Harvey, another touch. Number 24, that is. St Kilda inside 50. Jones trying hard. Wolf looked dangerous early. Close to the boundary line. Kept it in play. Bickley gives away a free kick. No, he didn't. Thought it may have been a push in the back. In there is Tyson Edwards. At ground level, Tawney was good. Bickley in turn. Out to Rashudo. That's possession number 30. Big thumping kick. The Birdman's there. At the bottom of the pack, John Cock crashes through some traffic. Brilliant play to release McLeod. Has one bounce. The crowd love it. There's the foot pass out looking to Welsh.
Great play, McLeod on the burst. Had two options there. Took Welsh. How'd you like to be a full forward, running out, leading out, having Andrew McLeod streaming down the ground looking at you?
I think Matthew Richardson would like to play with him. Braddles, you would have kicked 100 in that scenario. Welsh has kicked 2-2, 13 for the season. One of the best kicks in the business. Tight angle. Let's see what he does. Oh, he loves it. He has his third.
So long, mate. You've been bloody good to me. But it's time to move on.
The only thing better than an old Holden one-tonner is the new Holden one-tonner. The Holden one-tonner. It's back.
56 points, the margin. Midway in the final term, and the Crows, as they have all afternoon, winning the hit-outs, winning the clearances. This time it's Ronnie Burns lifting, going direct, options, Perry. He'll line up for his third. They're queuing up now.
Yes, and since half-time, Ronnie Burns has played more up the ground, more in the midfield as a midfield come-forward player, and he's looked good. He's getting a lot of fitness up there, almost like a training drill for him.
The margin was 20 points at quarter time, 27 at half-time. The Crows goaling after the half-time siren, and they kicked away with a 9-3 third term. Saints have narrowly won this final term, although Perry can shave off 6 points of that. Lining up for his third. The lead is beyond 10 goals again.
Well, I believe we'll sell 20,000 quilts this year, and that is not an exaggeration.
Why do you think you sell so many quilts?
Well, it's the prices.
It must be more than that, though. What was it?
No, it's the prices. Even our staff have been astounded.
What do you pay for luxurious 500-gram window weight, 100% Australian wool quilt? 200, 150, 130? Nah, singles $59.95, doubles $64.95, queen $69.95, king $79.95.
It's simply it. It's the prices.
Adelaide in rare form at the moment. They lead by 62 points. Bigland's won the tap. Stengline tried to crash his way through, and their forward line starting to look incredibly potent. Welsh has 3, Perry 3, Burton 3, Laddams 3, and Graham Johncock has kicked 6. Next week they take on Sydney, and Carey will be in the lineup. Handball over the top to Begley. Has had an enjoyable afternoon against his old side. Possession number 22. Laddams in turn on the left boot, out wide to Burton, but outmarked. And a good effort there by Jason Blake. Very young side, St Kilda. And they've been given a football lesson this afternoon. As Craig Bradley mentioned earlier, they will learn from this, and they'll be a force to be reckoned with, and this lad will be a part of it. Justin Kosicki kicks it inside 50. Hart drifts across. Daniel Wolf had no chance whatsoever. It was 2 against 1. Now it's 5 opposed to 2. As Begley gets on the end of another one. Possession number 23. And out wide is Ken McGregor, who's been very serviceable this afternoon. Too high for Begley, not renowned for his overhead marking. St Kilda go inside 50 again. Wolf the target. The destroyer from behind was Tawney. 7th in the best and fairest for Richmond. Got it over to Laddams. In turn to McGregor. Says, let me have another crack at it. I'll find a target this time, but he doesn't. And a strong mark taken there, and a quick handball over towards Rewalt. Now they go up the centre corridor, and they miss their mark again. Burton. Well, this is take 3. Begley gets involved again. Loose player on the outer side is Biglands, and this time they'll get inside 50.
It's like forehand, backhand, backhand, forehand. Now Adelaide working it inside the 50, and there's Rashudo in front of Gunnar.
And that is Roo, not a boo.
And I guess with Adelaide's goal kickers, a lot of their midfielders kick goals. They've got the advantage of their side is they've got a lot of players that can play in the midfield, forward or back. Tyson Edwards, John Cobb, Rashudo, these sorts of players. Burton we see on the wing today. He often lines up at full forward. It's just a tremendous side in terms of the flexibility.
And McLeod, the luxury of being arrested at the moment. The applause for Bigland's coming off. Clark back on. 17 kicks, 13 hand passes, 5 marks, 1 goal. The numbers for Mark Prosciutto today. From the opposite side of the ground, you sit behind him with the clock working its way down. Adelaide with a 22-goal afternoon. Prosciutto pushes it across the face, and it's got the carry for a behind.
Quite interesting. Didn't make the top 10 in their best in Ferris last year, but was selected as an All-Australian. Has definitely had a better year this year, Mark Prosciutto. May take out the best in Ferris and perhaps his 6th All-Australian award.
Perhaps similar to Nathan Buckley, the coaches mark him so hard because he's so good. As the Saints turn it over from the kick-in, Burton, quickly, Rutten, good hands, John Cock to the goal square. Nice mark. Boss. Now St Kilda can rebound away. A one-on-one on the outer side. Maguire, Perry, Maguire. Good mark. He's looked all right.
Shown a lot.
3 goals, 6 marks, and now 14 possessions. Kicking to half forward. His option there, though. Nick Riewoldt amongst a nest of pros, but Hamill did well. Got it to Riewoldt. Deep to full forward. Clark caught behind. Clever. Spoil. Laddams, though, equal to it. Hart, loose man on the wing, and a heap of space. Burton away with a bounce. To full forward. Prosciutto again, roving Edwards, finds an opening, drips it over the top. Shirley in the action. John Cock this time for number 7, no. Prosciutto ducking and weaving, caught. Can Rutten get boot the ball? Saint defence, intense here late in the game. Edwards about to be caught, slips away. Kick is smothered, still alive for the Crows. Prosciutto running out of room, centering ball, well read by Baker. And the Saints didn't want to concede a late one, and full credit to them.
Well done, St Kilda. Adelaide had enough opportunities, didn't make the most of it. Aussie Jones streaks away on the outer side, onto the left boot. He looks for Riewoldt. He's outnumbered, though, and Smart, the veteran, picks it up. The handball over the top to another veteran. The old firm in action. Bickley back to Smart. They started their careers together at South Adelaide. The pass short. Just missed Ronnie Burns. Now Matthew Clark will have to work hard. Jones in there again to Montagna. Over the top and finds Ball. Luke Ball on the left boot. Better pass, and Hamill takes it about 55 out. Could nearly get the distance with this breeze. Would take his best kick, decides on a short pass, and it's a good one to find the run of Dal Santo. Yet to kick a goal in season 2003, playing just his 3rd game for the season. Let's hope he puts this one through.
I'm quite staggered sitting up here just watching the Adelaide midfield work back into defence. They work back so hard, and quite often we see the St Kilda side look up and they just haven't got an option to go to.
The margin 64 points. Nick Dal Santo from 40 metres, and he's cramped up a little bit, but he's put it through.
Catch all the footy action on the big screen at Sky City Adelaide.
Dal Santo with 58 touches in his 3 matches this season, the last 3 weeks in a row, and the Saints have won a centre clearance. Maguire a high ball towards half forward. Hart leading Hamill in the race for it. Hamill got him in his sights, and Hart takes it over for a boundary throw.
Jason Tawney's been a good pickup for Adelaide. He's very reliable, does his job, often picks up a named player, but just goes about his work without too much fanfare.
Played every game this year. He was going to be dropped last week, but was a late inclusion due to injuries.
Ball providing a semblance of a tackle there. Crows get it away, and John Cock, mark and crew. Whistle went early, takes it anyway. Down the line he goes to Perry. Good mark. Battled him in the final term on in earnest. St Kilda have won it 3-3 to 2-2. There's not 50 there, says umpire Ralston.
7 marks to Perry.
Wants to get it on quickly. Has kicked 3 himself. Drives it very wide for Welsh. Out on the foot. Heading towards 3 minutes remaining. As Goddard brings it in for Harvey. the leading ball winner for St Kilda this afternoon, to Del Santo. Deep in the defensive zone, elected to play on, just drifting away. Rewalt in the back pocket. Options slowly drying up for the Saints as some of the folks head home early to beat the traffic. 44,500, terrific turnout. Rewalt to the wing, and Aaron Hamill gliding, taking the mark. And/or free kick for St Kilda, make it the or, because it will come back to Blake, who was pushed out of it.
Here's Burton going for one of those screamers again. Just got into the back of the young fella. And there's a few players out there pretty tight at the moment. A lot of cramping going on. Robert Harvey, however, just continues to work hard.
Blake, defensive side of the broadcast wing. Seagulls lurking for sustenance, as you can hear, as Blake delivers towards Wolf. Good spoil. Crows winning it out again. Big lead towards Burton on the wing. And he's got the mark in front of Blake.
He's great to watch, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's so exciting. He's like a rubber man when he flies for the ball.
And enjoying his footy for the last month as he delivers to half forward. A well-weighted kick for Rutten, the second gamer. The 19-year-old hasn't been able to continue that streak from last week with a goal with each kick. They'll get a goal here, will they? McGregor dragged down. Hurries one at goal. It bounces through from behind. Craig Bradley riding the bumps up here.
Well, I tell you what, Biglands just went right through Mark Rashudo. The skipper got up and said, thanks very much. And that would hurt. Biglands, a big boy. 104 kgs. The re-entry, oh, not a good one. Clark came in strongly. Loose ball, quick handball, went from Bickley over to Smart. Couldn't control it. Harvey in there, always cool in a crisis. Gets the handball over, and looking a little bit sore and sorry there was Luke Ball. Now the kick inside 50. Big fist away. Adelaide had the numbers. Tawney crashed his way through. Handball wasn't accurate, though. It goes back towards Montagna. Has a player all loosened by himself, and the mark's been taken by Daniel Wolf. Has managed just 1-1 for the day. Did look dangerous in the first half, opposed to Smart.
He's competed pretty hard. Nigel Smart, pretty experienced, though. Has played it pretty well, Nigel Smart, today.
And Luke Ball was the player that was crushed by Matthew Clark, and that would hurt. Clark not small, 198 centimetres and 100 kilograms. Wolf lines up, and he has dragged that to the left. So the scoreboard reads Adelaide 22-11, St Kilda 13-8. That's our scoreboard. The scoreboard here at Football Park has them at 13-7. So I'll back us, Clinton, as Laddams gets Adelaide out of trouble.
Need every point they can get, the Saints, don't they? As we head inside the final minute, Blake wrestling with Burton and tie one another up. We'll have another bounce. Harvey cramping up, taxing afternoon this for St Kilda. Lost Peckett early, and there's been plenty of other twinges along the way, and Harvey copping a knock there. So St Kilda look like they will win the final term, something at least, heading into their match next week against the Eagles at the Telstra Dome. Crows win the clearance, still time, 30 seconds. Maguire's been good, loads up the top and gives it a ride. It travels all the way to the pocket where Wolf, can he conjure up a late highlight? Will try and dribble it home, but the Crows get in the way. Tawney to batter it out of harm's way. Hart, McGregor, and he's got Ronnie Burns on with 10 seconds to go. Can Ronnie try and get something going for them? Rutten at half forward, and he'll claim the mark, and that will be the final act of an enjoyable afternoon for the Crows. Their 11th win for the season, and a convincing one as the Adelaide Crows work their way past the Brisbane Lions and into the AFL's top 4 double chance territory as they record an emphatic 57-point win over St Kilda. There's the scoreline, 22-11 to 13 goals 8. 22 goals from a forward line that will still get Stevens and Carey come finals time. Nathan Burke disappointed, game number 322. His record-setting game for St Kilda, but Mark Rashudo and the Adelaide Crows was simply far too good. They led by 20 points at quarter time after a 7-goal opening term. The margin was just 21 points when the halftime siren sounded, but a downfield free gave the Crows a goal and an important 27-point edge at halftime, and they blew the Saints away with a 9-goal to 3 third term. And while the Saints won the last term, it was merely some cosmetic touch to the scoreboard. The Adelaide Crows home convincingly. Graham Johncock leading the way with an impressive 6 goals. And he had plenty of help with Welsh, Perry, Burton and Laddams all kicking 3, while Matt Maguire kicked 3 goals for the Saints.
And Clinton, also great to see the Adelaide players showing their respect to Nathan Burke in his record-breaking achievement today. 322 games and one of only 3 St Kilda players to play more than 300 games. Aaron Hamill not happy, and nor would you be after a 57-point shellacking.
But the Adelaide Crows, Craig Bradley, I sense they're going to be playing deep into September. We'll talk about that later. Let's enjoy this. Let's go downstairs to Tiff.
Well, Graham, that'd have to be your best outing.
Yeah, it was actually. I was good to kick 6. Previously had 5. I kicked 5 against Carlton, so 6 is best, and yeah, it's good.
You guys missed a golden opportunity last week to really get up there high on the score, on the ladder. This one you really set yourself for.
Yeah, well, we knew we had to pay them back because last time we played them over at Colonial Stadium, they come out pretty hard, and yeah, it was good to get back at them and have a win today, so it was good.
And the word was to get the percentage in the last quarter?
Yeah, well, I suppose, because I suppose it's all pretty close up in the ladder now, so good percentages are pretty good, so yeah.
And a good feeling, obviously, heading towards the finals. The boys are in pretty good form.
Yeah, it's going pretty well so far. Just got to get the duck back now, and Mark Stevens and a few other guys, and yeah, so we'll see how we go.
We'll let you go and rest up. Thanks for that.
20 years of age, game number 42 of his career, and as he says to Tiff there, a career best 6 goals, kicked 3 very early on, saw up 3 opponents. I think we lost count, Kim, how many he had for the day.
He had 5 by my counting, but I mentioned to Craig during the game, he plays a lot up back and gets thrown up forward, but ultimately I imagine him being part of the midfield rotation, if not next year or the year after that.
Certainly, he's just serving an apprenticeship at the moment, but if you're going to be that dangerous, if you're going to go forward and kick 6 goals, then he's not really going to get much of a run in the midfield, I can assure you.
Made his debut round 1 last year and yet to miss a game.
Yeah, it's an impressive achievement, isn't it? And the fans in the outer staying on to cheer them. They enjoy this walk up the race. It's a tough run to September from here. Their last 5 matches all against teams currently in the 8, but for now, this Adelaide Crows team is firing. They win it this afternoon, 22-11 to 13-7.
This news break is brought to you by the bank that can help you plan your future.
Coming up at 6, more on that siege situation in a high-rise apartment block in Manila. Several Australians have been allowed to leave the building, which is being occupied by rebels from the Philippines Armed Forces. Police are still searching for the group of men responsible for yesterday's road rage murder at Glenelg North. 31-year-old Adam Ballard died several hours after being bashed. Serco drivers will join Southlink in a 24-hour strike starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow. And Kim has all the sport, including Steve Waugh's 32nd Test century. See you soon.
8:30 Monday.
Where dreams are realised.
And fortunes unfold.
It doesn't get much better than this.
Now Philip Twining has the world in front of him. Millionaire Monday.
Some people see me as debonair, a bon vivant, a sophisticated man about town. But there's another player who fits that category. Crazy John. Like me, he's been around a while and has plenty of experience where mobile phones are concerned. You get the best deal with Crazy John's. He's Australia's best mobile phone retailer. I'm with Crazy. So if you need a mobile, remember, Crazy John's for mobile phones. Call 13 22 99.
Crazy John's, we love you, mate.
Catch all the footy action on the big screen at Sky City Adelaide.
Woolworths, the fresh food people, have lots of suggestions for comfort food.
Try these rich lamb shanks with sun-dried tomato couscous. Brown 4 lamb shanks, then add sliced leeks, fennel and crushed garlic and cook until softened. Put the shanks back in and add a can of Valverde Italian diced tomatoes, beef stock, tomato paste and bring to the boil. In a preheated oven, cook covered for 1 1/4 hours. Uncover and cook for a further 30 minutes. Stir in parsley and basil, season and set aside. To prepare the couscous, add chopped sun-dried tomatoes and a cup of boiling water. Cover for 3 minutes, stir with a fork to separate the grains and serve. Always chop fresh herbs just before using them. Some, such as basil, may discolour. You can also cut fresh herbs with kitchen scissors. And remember, when buying, look for bright green fresh herbs. You'll find this recipe along with other great ideas in this month's issue of Australian Good Taste magazine. Available with all your fresh ingredients from Woolworths, the fresh food people.
Tonight on 9 Sunday, tensions aren't the only things building on the block. Then it's 60 Minutes, followed by The General's Daughter, starring John Travolta and Madeline Stowe.
AFL Premiership 2003, proudly brought to you by Carlton, brewed since 1864. And our telecast sponsors, Chartered Accountants, CA, Employ Our Thinking. Primus Telecom, delivering the real value of communication. Sky City Adelaide, the place to see footy on the big screen. Crazy John's for the best deals in mobile phones. Radio Rentals, South Australia's biggest electrical retailer. And Amy, lucky you're with Amy.
And they're slowly winning that admiration of the nation. A 58-point victory, make it 57 in the end. The final scoreline, 22 goals, 11, 143 to the Saints, 13-8, 86. So a very comfortable victory for the Crows, set up with that 7-goal-to-4 opening term. And Graham Johncock was the star. A career-best 6 goals. Welsh, Perry, Burton, Laddams all kicking 3, while Maguire was best for St Kilda. He kicked 3 goals. Stephen Milne kicked 2, but it was a disappointing day for Stephen Milne and the Saints as we checked those other single goal kickers. Stephen Milne reported just before half-time. Colin Grovis, Craig Bradley back with you for the wrap of the game. Certainly disappointment, Craig, for the Saints, but they're going to know they come up against a very good football team.
Oh, absolutely. Adelaide are hard, and they're a hard and mature side, and, you know, up to the first half they were right in it, but after that they fell away a bit. St Kilda tried hard. Aaron Hamill here, getting the ball into Stephen Milne. It was in and out sort of day for Milne. He kicked a couple of good goals, but did a couple of bad things as well.
Luke Ball bobbed up in patches as well for the Saints, but in this third term it was the Adelaide Crows who took control. Laddams, this one, goes all of 60 metres. Hudson getting back. St Kilda had just got their way back into it. We're back within 27 points, but the Crows with 6 goals in the time-on period in that third term, and it just became an avalanche. Laddams with 2 in a minute.
Well, they can score very quickly, and that's a sign of a good side. You've only got to let your guard down against them for a couple of minutes, and it can cost you the match.
So many match-up problems, as we know, for St Kilda right throughout the course of the game. They did seem to have them not right early, but they fixed some of the key ones, but the Crows just simply sheer weight of numbers.
Well, obviously they were attacking early, and why wouldn't they? They've got a good midfield, so they had a go at it. But it just didn't work out. Rashudio and the like got plenty of the ball. And Burton here, we see he had a great day out. He just got stronger as the day went on, kicking a few goals, and really in the midfield did a fantastic job.
He kicked 3 goals in that third quarter, Burton. You wonder, though, once Carey and Stevens come back into the lineup, he'll be pushed further up the ground.
Oh, for sure, and good signs for Gary Ayres there. Scotty Welch there, he had a great game, always presenting along with Perry. You know, 2 great players who just, you know, they lead hard and give their midfielder a target, and that's fantastic.
And you expect Ronnie Burns perhaps to occasionally bob up. He didn't bob up today. It was Graham Johncock who bobbed up today up forward for the Adelaide Crows. And did he start in a blaze of glory? 3 goals in the opening half of the opening quarter, and he would finish with 6 for the afternoon.
Well, I actually thought he might even start down back today, but up forward it was, and a good choice. Early on, having a few shots for goal, straight through the middle. Nathan Burke, I thought he did a terrific job, especially in the second half. Adelaide had even more ball in the second half, so, you know, to keep Johncock down was a great effort, but certainly terrific game for him.
I guess it's the old in question, the age-old question, how often can you win sort of the most improved award? He won the Chairman's Award, as I mentioned earlier, for the best emerging talent for the Adelaide Crows last season. What does that mean he's going to win this year?
Well, I'm not sure, but if he keeps playing like that, I'm certain the side will be winning a bit. And
the Crows, led by Graham Johncock with his 6 goals, posting a very handy 57-point victory here, and he's just so lethal, and Saints didn't have enough numbers to stop him. He was pretty happy too when he spoke with Tiffany Cherry after the game, and finishing with 6 goals for the Adelaide Crows. Always so much to like about Adelaide's on-board division, as we know, and Andrew McLeod, just another day at the office, really, wasn't it?
Just another day at the office for Andrew McLeod. I thought Baker did a terrific job today. It's a hard task to keep Andrew down, but as the game wore on, it was obvious the Crows were going to win, and he just looked like he was really enjoying it out there. This one here, snap over the shoulder. I thought it was a miss kick, but how silly am I? Straight through the middle.
Xavier Clark picked him up at the start of the game. In retrospect, should Baker have played on him from the get-go?
Well, I think Grant Thomas, he's trying to teach his young guys all about footy, and Xavier Clark would go away from today just knowing a little bit more about it. But certainly Baker, seasoned campaigner now, he does the big jobs for the Saints, and when he went on to Andrew, certainly did a good job.
And just clicking into another gear, Andrew McLeod as he finds Burton during the course of that third term. And Mark Rasciuto, another one that we must mention, with 33 possessions across the course of the afternoon at the coalface, as always.
Oh, certainly. Along with McLeod, Rasciuto, they're like twins, those two. They love to run, they love to get the ball, they do the hard things, and so exciting to watch.
And how far can the Adelaide Crows advance to September now? They're into the top 4 in the AFL ladder. How far can they advance?
Well, I actually think that the hard draw is going to help them. If they're any good, if they can win the granny, they'll have to get through the next month.
The match stats, disposals, Adelaide comfortably 35 more across the course of the afternoon. The marks evened up late, including the marks inside 50. Adelaide with only 14 more entries inside 50 across the course of the afternoon. But as we spoke about much throughout the afternoon, Adelaide, the #1 team in the league for clearances, and following up that, centre breaks, and they dominated the hit-outs this afternoon, the Clark-Big Ones combination.
Oh, absolutely, and #1 side in terms of tackles and clearances, and it showed out today.
Rasciuto with 33 possessions, Burton with 30, and Harvey leading the way. And Grant Thomas, the undisciplined free kicks, particularly the one from Stephen Milne, which you'll front the tribunal on Tuesday night about just before half-time. They'd had a pretty good second quarter, hadn't they? That one in particular was costly.
Well, it was costly. Any free kick like that is costly. It was just unfortunate for Milne. I think he's trying pretty hard out there, but it's just, you know, the confidence is down a touch. It's just not working for him.
And if there was a highlight for St Kilda this afternoon, would it be Matt Maguire with his 3 goals?
Fantastic effort up there, you know, kept presenting all the time, along with Aaron Hamill and Nick Riewoldt. When he went up there, he tried his hardest, but the Adelaide defence just too experienced.
Good to have you with us today.
Good to be here.
Craig Bradley with us this afternoon. So as the adrenaline of the afternoon begins to drain away, some other things begin to come into focus. This Adelaide Crows team is going to be playing deep into September. For Craig Bradley, Kim Dillon, Tiff Cherry and all the team, I'm Colin Gribus. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports. This is Adelaide's National 9 News with Georgina McGuinness.
Australians freed as rebel soldiers attempt a military coup in Manila. The hunt for those responsible for that road rage murder and Port's thrilling win puts them further ahead in the countdown to the finals. Good evening. Also making news tonight, the Adelaide Crows join the power in the top 4. Far too good for the Saints at Amy Stadium. But first tonight, the President of the Philippines has declared a state of rebellion after an alleged attempted coup. A rogue element of the armed forces raided an exclusive apartment block in Manila, taking its residents hostage, among them Australia's Ambassador Ruth Pearce. 10 other Australians were also caught up in the drama, but all have now been released unharmed.
Ruth Pearce emerged from the siege and somehow, amongst the chaos, managed a smile.
Please give way, please give way.
She was, along with other foreigners, an accidental hostage in a military rebellion.
Just how you feel now?
Very relieved, yeah. Mainly because of the kids, I worried, you know, that we might be stuck in there for days with no water.
Even by Manila's standards, this bloodless mutiny was brazenly public and seemingly all too easy. The crack team of Special Operations soldiers deserted their posts yesterday and simply walked into the heart of the capital. Some even caught cabs. Booby traps were set around the building and the media was ordered back behind road signs strapped with explosives. The soldiers, highly trained and very dangerous, are among the Army's elite fighting units.
We cannot also be too complacent about the smaller number because they can still do some damage.
By this morning, the rest of the Army, loyal to the President, surrounded the area in number and force. Inside, the rebels seemed far from concerned, releasing a videotape calling on the government to resign. It is corrupt, their leader said, because it has sold arms and ammunition to Muslim and communist rebels, and claims President Arroyo is planning to introduce martial law. The President delivered this strong warning.
Your actions are already hovering at the fringes of outright terrorism.
The rebels were given a deadline of just 1 hour from now, and a short time ago, some of the soldiers began to surrender. Karl Stefanovic, National 9 News.
And the military rebellion has some grave implications for the entire region. The Australian government has now upgraded its travel advisory for the Philippines and has warned that the fight against terrorism could suffer.
It was only 2 weeks ago that Prime Minister Howard was in Manila, reopening the Australian embassy, shut down by terror threats last year. Mr. Howard saying he was pleased with new security arrangements for our diplomatic staff.
I'm told that the new arrangements have been represent a significant strengthening.
Mr. Howard and his Philippine counterpart made an agreement to fight terrorism with a $5 million aid package. Today's lapse in security leaving our foreign minister clearly worried.
We believe that if such a coup were to be successful, this would have a very serious impact on the Philippines' relationship with Australia.
Today's events are an added embarrassment to the Philippines government after the highly publicised escape from jail of top Jemaah Islamiyah explosives expert Al Ghazi.
This comes at a very difficult time when the Philippines is in the forefront of the war against terrorism.
The political instability and the clear lack of unity within the Philippines military will make the country an even easier target than it already is for terrorist organisations, a fact that was underlined by the involvement of police officers in the Al Ghazi affair. Simon Crean wants Australia to hold anti-terrorism talks with all our neighbouring nations.
What we've got to do is really work together. And that's what I want to see, and I don't understand why the Prime Minister's not prepared to convene the regional summit.
Peter Harvey, National 9 News.
To local news, and police have released a photo of a car similar to the one used in yesterday's shocking road rage murder. A 31-year-old man died after being bashed by a gang of men. The fatal attack coming after a dramatic car chase through the western suburbs.
The attack on Adam Ballard was vicious and prolonged. It was carried out by a group of up to 5 men who were in a red Commodore similar to this one. Late on Friday night, they were involved in a series of heated road rage incidents with the occupants of Mr. Ballard's car as they drove around the city's west. Mr. Ballard was assaulted by the men and his car stopped at Glenelg North. He was found dead in his home the next day. Major crime detectives say they've received a number of phone calls from the public and are now narrowing the focus of their investigation. They've also renewed their call for the men to give themselves up. Meanwhile, police now say the death of the 34-year-old man at Merino yesterday was not suspicious. An autopsy has revealed he had multiple injuries consistent with having fallen from a cliff. A passerby found the body just before 8 in the morning, and investigators had feared the man had been a victim of an attack. Police have identified the man as James Scott Richards from Brooklyn Park. They're asking for anyone who saw Mr. Richards in recent days to come forward. James Wakeland, National 9 News.
The toughest criminal laws for nearly 50 years have now come into effect, and among the changes, more power for householders to defend themselves during home invasions.
Our state's judicial system will now be tougher on criminals and more consistent. The significant changes include guideline sentencing, which will see average penalties set for each offence.
We're sending a message to the judges that we want the punishment to fit the crime.
Mr. Rand used a recent court case where a man received a suspended sentence even though he'd been charged with attempted murder after shooting a newspaper delivery man in the eye.
It beggars belief that someone can be involved in a shooting incident and actually get off without going to jail.
Home invasion laws have also been strengthened, with homeowners allowed to use greater force against intruders if they feel it's necessary. However, the new law states that householders whose judgment is severely impaired by drugs or alcohol could forfeit their right to self-defence. Mr Rand says serious repeat offenders will also spend more time behind bars. Other laws being debated in Parliament include tougher penalties for carrying weapons, removing drunks defence, and cracking down on drug and identity theft.
We're going to take on the bikie gangs, including not only confiscation of assets, but also, if necessary, bulldozing their fortified premises.
Brad Watts, National 9 News.
The car involved in yesterday's terrifying carjacking at Mansfield Park has been found. The stolen black Holden Monaro was dumped at Seaton yesterday. It had been taken from a Mansfield Park service station earlier in the day. At the time, a 2-year-old boy was strapped in the back seat. He was dumped at a nearby roundabout after the Monaro was involved in a collision with another car. The little boy was reunited with his family uninjured after his ordeal. Police are yet to locate the offender. Well, if you travel by bus, you may need to make some other arrangements tomorrow, with Serco joining Southlink in a 24-hour strike. From 4 a.m, there will be no services in the north, the northeast and the south. Commuters should expect heavier than usual peak hour traffic and are being advised to leave early for work or school. The drivers will hold peaceful vigils at Serco and Southlink depots as they continue their push for more pay and better conditions. The buses will be back on the road on Tuesday morning. Time for a break now then. The threat from militia groups in the Solomons. They say they'll take on the Australian-led forces. And a birthday celebration for the world's first test tube baby.
The pictures that caught out a billion-dollar business. What happens next is a national disgrace. And how the comic book heroes have taken over Hollywood.
They make money.
60 Minutes, tonight.
You know, I reckon you can tell it's the most powerful ute they've ever made, just by looking at it. Yeah. I reckon we should take them for a run on the Salt Lake.
The new 260 kilowatt Falcon ute. It's unbelievably powerful.
At Big W, we're always looking for ways to help you save.
So whenever we can, we roll back our prices to create a new everyday low price. So whenever you see this little guy in store, you know you'll save even more.
That's our promise to you from Big W.
Ditch the chauffeur.
Continuing the news, and the deaths of Saddam Hussein's sons don't seem to have slowed the guerrilla attacks against US soldiers in Iraq. Overnight, another 4 Americans were killed in 2 separate attacks. some fear that it could be the start of a new phase in the militants' deadly campaign.
A day late, but the Children's Hospital where the soldiers were killed is now heavily guarded, surrounded by barbed wire, helicopters watching overhead. 3 US soldiers died here and 4 were wounded. Iraqi witnesses say they'd been playing cards outside the hospital's front gates when a grenade was lobbed in the middle.
The attackers in this case were successful in that they were able to kill and injure a larger number of soldiers than usual.
The army denies the attacks are revenge for the killing of Uday and Qusay Hussein. Meanwhile, the house in northern Iraq where the brothers died in a 6-hour shootout was demolished today. But like the display of Uday and Qusay's bodies, Iraqis generally still don't seem to be impressed by the coalition's efforts. In many areas, water and power is still not restored, and they're no safer under the coalition than they were under Saddam. And where the guerrillas aren't targeting US troops, street gangs are terrorizing locals, kidnapping and carjacking. Overnight, Baghdad's newly appointed police chief, Ahmed Kadim, was shot along with 5 of his officers, trying to crack down on the city's new wave of violent crimes. In the United States, Michael Usher, National 9 News.
And to another world trouble spot, and militia groups in the Solomon Islands are threatening to fight Australian soldiers. They say they won't surrender their guns unless they're given money. But the threats are being played down by the peacekeepers, who say that most islanders are happy to disarm.
They take God's Day seriously in the Solomon Islands, in packed churches, prayers of thanks and applause for the intervention force. The man conducting the service is the Governor-General. After 5 years of chaos, he sees the Australian-led mission as delivering them from evil. But after a good start and the top operational priority of collecting and destroying firearms, signs that evil still has a firm grip.
From the island of Malaita, where many of the illegal guns are still held, militia leaders are preparing to demand financial compensation and that they be allowed to keep houses that they've occupied by force as the price for disarming. If those demands are not met, they say, the intervention force will have to take the guns by fighting for them.
The mission leader says those demands have not yet been conveyed to him, and they won't succeed.
There will be no gun buyback.
Tonight, more military weight with the arrival off Honiara of another naval ship. In the Solomon Islands, Hugh Rimmington, National 9 News.
A birthday bash has been held for Louise Brown, the world's first test tube baby who has just turned 25. She celebrated with a wide circle of friends who also wouldn't be here except for the fertility program. In all, 3,000 people attended, just a fraction of the 1 million children born through IVF. Back home again, and Telethon's latest house and land lottery has been launched at Westwood. The Springfield 5 is the 9th home designed, built and fully donated to Channel 9 Telethon by Distinctive Homes. The home is at 19 Westwood Boulevard and it's open every day between 1 and 5 p.m. And while you're there, you can buy a ticket to win it. They're just $5 each. And the money raised will support 12 South Australian charities. Kim's here with sport after a very big day at the footy, Kim.
An enjoyable day, Georgie. Hello, everyone. After the break, all the action from Port's thrilling victory at the Gabba. 6 of the best from John Cox sends the Saints packing. And love is all around in the second test in Cairns.
Why was she murdered?
Tonight, the suspense thriller.
There's enough evidence here to ruin the lives of everyone involved.
John Travolta, Madeline Stowe and James Woods.
She cheated, she lied. When you find that out, then you'll know everything.
The General's Daughter, tonight on 9.
How about a car where the wheels sort of talk to each other?
Now that's thinking.
New Holden Vectra, new thinking.
Get ready, get set for massive savings during the final week of Woolworths' famous Red Spot sale. 240 to 250 gram Cadbury Dairy Milk blocks, now only $2.68. Save 73 cents. 6-pack Kleenex toilet tissue, just $3.87. Save 72 cents. And 6-pack Golden Crumpets, only 87 cents. Save $1.11. So rush in for Red Spot specials, only at Woolworths.
I ended up owing $4 grand on the credit card.
I'm sorry, it doesn't seem to be going through.
They cancelled it.
Check it all.
Shelley couldn't even pay for the groceries.
Can we pick these? No, you can't keep those. Sorry, Kate.
Making the call was a tough decision, but worth it. Trevor's helping me work things out, and Shelley, well, she's speaking to me again.
Think of what you're really gambling with. Call the gambling helpline on 1800 060 757.
The Art Gallery of South Australia presents Australian Surrealism. Dare to challenge your darkest self as this collection is revealed for the first time. Australian Surrealism, the Agapitos Wilson Collection. Now showing at the Art Gallery of South Australia.
So long, mate. You've been bloody good to me. But it's time to move on.
The only thing better than an old hold of 1 tonner is the new hold of 1 tonner. The Holden 1 tonner. It's back.
Hello again, let's jump into some football, and the Adelaide Crows have marched into the top 4 after a commanding victory over St Kilda at Amy Stadium. Graham Johncock kicked a career-best 6 goals as Adelaide avenged their round 2 defeat in style.
A chance to enhance flag fortunes and atone for sins of the past. Nothing saintly about Adelaide's opening, a 50-metre penalty proving costly. Redemption was swift.
A little bit of magic, snapshot on the right boot, the breeze behind him, and he's put it through!
Not quite the same degree of difficulty for Graham Johncock. His 3 first-quarter goals and a second from McLeod helping the Crows to a 20-point buffer. Stephen Powell ensured the Saints fired the first shot of the second term, but when Graham Johncock pulled the trigger,
For number 4!
and Stephen Milne shot himself and his team in the foot seconds before half-time,
Stephen Milne, you're in some trouble, son.
Adelaide cleared out.
Amy Stadium, what a rough begin!
Johncock started the second half as he had the first.
And you can make it live, he's put it through!
Into the win, the visitors ran the ball, closing within 26 points. But just as the Saints eyed off a comeback made in heaven, Adelaide turned devil's advocate.
It's a goal from 60 to Chrissy Laddams.
Inspired by Chris Laddams, 4 goals in 3 minutes, and it was game over. Having put on a clinic in the third, the last quarter resembled a training drill, complete with goal-kicking practice. With the race won, Gary Ayres parked his Rolls-Royce in the garage, Adelaide motoring back into the top 4. Ross Stark, National 9 News.
And the only injury worry for the Crows is Martin Matner, who has a bruised shin. After the game, St Kilda coach Grant Thomas expressed his dismay at captain Aaron Hamill's decision to kick against the wind after winning the toss.
I'm not saying that that was the total reason of the whole game, but very definitely we need to get off to a good start, and I was just surprised by the decision.
Did you say anything about it?
No, I haven't spoken about it yet. Not as yet.
Certainly the third quarter was when we really probably busted the game wide open, and it was probably a bit disappointing to finish off that way in the last quarter, because we really probably should have won by 15 goals, I reckon. That's how we were playing.
Port Adelaide has firmed as favourite to win its first AFL premiership following last night's thrilling win over Brisbane. The Power's 1-point triumph broke a 4-year drought at the Gabba and put the club clear at the top of the ladder with 5 rounds to play.
So ended one of the games of the year and one of Port's most memorable triumphs. The night they emerged with the points from this clash of the AFL heavyweights.
Obviously, to come up here and beat Brisbane is just a wonderful thing, something that doesn't happen too often.
Josh Carr emerging the unlikely hero. Assigned a tagging role on Michael Voss, he not only restricted the Brownlow medalist, but finished with 23 possessions and 4 goals.
Tries to bend it back and does!
Oh, it was just good to have my teammates around me and help me out, and, you know, it's good to get a couple of goals.
More and more, people will realise that he's got a lot of value in him, rather than just a person that plays a negative tagging role.
The occasion also provided some of the goals of the year. Ackermanis at his freakish best. And even before he booted the winning point, Roger James plucked this in the third term.
Bends it back, Roger James.
Both sides were undermanned, Port even more so when Wakelam injured his head and ankle in this crushing encounter. While he should be back next weekend, not so Stuart Cochrane, who re-injured an ankle. Brisbane's third loss in 4 weeks, bringing it back to the finals pack.
Yeah, it's very frustrating and very disappointing, but we just have to move on.
Port not getting carried away.
Any of the 8 could win, and you know it's all about preparation and making sure you get your players up and ready to go when the finals start.
Vicky Schwartz, National 9 News.
It was a great victory, that one. Sydney has come from behind to score a strong win over Fremantle. The Swans trailed by 8 points at three-quarter time before kicking away in the final term. Last night, Richmond were 10-goal winners over the Bulldogs, and at the MCG, Collingwood won a spiteful encounter with arch-rival Carlton.
Anthony Rocker and Mick Martin got stuck in early.
Mick's eye.
Martin coming off second best. It was all one-way traffic. The Blues pushed aside as Collingwood banged on 7 for the quarter.
Did he get a knuckle on it? No, it's a goal.
Carlton completely lost its bearings. Kutafiti's going the wrong way, and the Magpies scarcely able to believe their luck. Norman at least gave the Blues something with his first AFL goal.
This could be a big shot goal.
Then Holland went off, felled behind play. Buckley went straight for Camporeale, and at half-time, a melee broke out that took some time to settle.
Get your checkbook out, boys, if you're going to enter there.
The Pies up by 59 points, and Carlton looking for a blue. The niggle continued when hostilities resumed. Carlton at least were more competitive, but the Pies were too strong up forward. Shaw cashing in late in his return. Didak and O'Brien enjoying party time with Collingwood home by 73.
Well, you'd like to look after your team. It's the old days of going in and whacking some bloke. I mean, that's just silly. So I just think it's mature that players are able to hold their head.
You win 7 games in 2 years. What do you think you're going to be doing, having a celebration every Saturday and Sunday night? It just doesn't work like that.
The Magpies emphatically retaining the Peter Mac Cup. Rob Waters, National 9 News.
To the ladder, and after round 17, Port Adelaide is a game clear of the Sydney Swans, West Coast and the Crows 3rd and 4th respectively. Collingwood has jumped to 5th, Brisbane slips to 6th, while Fremantle and the Roos round out the 8. Essendon and the Hawks are still close enough, if good enough. Well, defying the odds, the second test between Australia and Bangladesh will go to a 4th day in Cairns. The Aussies declared their innings at 4 for 556, featuring 3 century makers. In reply, the visitors are on the ropes at 4 for 106.
Darren Lehmann hammered Anwar Hussain with 4 consecutive boundaries.
The uppercut.
10 minutes later, Tapash Basia ended Lehmann's lengthy count on 177. Steve Waugh's 16th boundary brought up his 32nd Test 100.
Second hundreds against Bangladesh for Steve Waugh.
The skipper took a blow off his own bat, though Bangladesh felt the sting of dealing with Martin Love and Waugh.
Having 150 against every Test-playing nation.
Waugh unbeaten in 2 tests against Bangladesh. Love going from a first ball duck in Darwin to an unbeaten maiden century. The tourists' top order was exposed in the last hour, leaving them 4 for 106, trailing Australia by 155 runs. Charles Christian, National 9 News.
The World Swimming Championships wind up tonight with Grant Hackett an unbackable favourite in the 1500 final. Last night, the Aussies added a bronze to their overall medal haul.
One of the biggest cheers of the night came in the 50 freestyle final, where veteran Alexander Popov again gave it to the youngsters. 32 next month, Popov burst out of lane 4 to add this win to his 100 metres title.
Popov's in front. Popov will do it.
9 years after first doing it, Popov is again the world sprint double champion.
He's completed
and
the
even he
50,
couldn't quite believe
twice
it.
at the
In the
world.
100 fly, Americans Ian Crocker and Michael Phelps were both ahead of the world record. In an upset, Crocker just hung on. They could have done without the water in the Tour de France.
Unbelievable. It is a very dangerous time trial he's got
That fall has probably cost Germany's Jan Ullrich his last chance of denying Lance Armstrong a record-equalling 5th Tour title. With one stage remaining, the American leads by a minute 16 overall. And some quality practice for Mark Philippoussis and Leighton Hewitt. In preparation for the Mercedes Classic, their first tournament since Wimbledon, the Aussies gave each other plenty. They're also teaming up in the doubles. Clinton Fletcher, National 9 News.
And if you're so inclined, you get to cheer home Grant Hackett in the 1500 metres final at the World Swimming Titles. Our live coverage starts at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. What else would you be doing, George?
I reckon I might be sleeping, Kim. Saviour's along after the break with the weather. But first, here is where you will find tomorrow's speed cameras.
Land Rover Discovery now comes with an 18cm DVD, value $2,750 for no extra cost, while stocks last.
At Target, from tomorrow, you can get 20% off Manchester, including sheets, pillows, quilts, curtains and towels.